For all of your sports in Lorain, keep your TV tuned to TV 20, Lorain City Schools Television.
Good evening and welcome to Garfield Heights High School. Jay Ferguson, Rick Amador, Joe Bach here as we have TV 20 Light, as we like to say. It's the Garfield Heights Bulldogs kicking from right to left to the visiting Lorain Titans. Lorain on the road for the first time this year. Both teams come in at 2-1. And Rick, looking for a good contest here. These two expected to be good teams.
Yeah, the Titans are coming in with that potent defense and that explosive offense, seeing what they can do.
Tyshawn Lighty picks it up on one hop, loses his helmet, which means the play should be blown dead. And later that day it was. That'll be 15 as the flag is down on the far side at about the 20-yard line. The face masking penalty on Garfield Heights. We're a little bit spoiled. We're a little lower than we're used to tonight, which makes the field numbers a little bit harder to see, Rick. That's one of my excuses. The other excuse is that the clock's not working right now.
Yeah, speaking of the hard elements here, we have a very hard field, Jay, so I'd like to pay attention to that. With that, the guys hitting the ground and things like that, pay attention to this very hard surface. Okay, Justin Sturgill, as always, under center. That's Savon Chavis behind him. Two receivers to the near side. It's Nolan and Cross inside of him. Far side, Davion Dower. Dalen in the slot on the far side. 1st and 10 Titans at about the 34. Sturgill, Dalen Dower gets the little swing pass and gets ahead for about 4 or 5, stays in bounds. And what that means is we don't know because the officials on the field are checking the clock. You know, nice thing to get the ball out of Justin's hands quickly. They kind of change up their tendency going with the empty backfield there, Jay, with just Savon in the backfield.
Now it's the eye. Chavis in front of Dower. Turn, give to Dower coming near side. Dalen cuts it up, he's got a first down, hurdles a man out near the 50. That's where they'll stop the clock enough to move the chains. Nice cut there by Dalen, and you've got to hit him and wrap him to bring him down. He's got very good vision for a sophomore, and he runs hard.
Very good vision, very good balance as well, Jay, to be able to make those moves and those cuts.
1st and 10 right at the 50. Cross goes to the far side to join Davion Dower. Nolan by himself. Savon Chavis, the first option, gets 3. Chavis brought down by the middle of the Bulldog defense. For the Titans up front, Rashawn Rogers makes it all begin at number 55. You've got Myron Wilson and Gabe Larsosa are the tackles. And that's the option play, and that's Dower. Dalen Dower, when he is done, Dalen Dower to the house.
No flag, Jay, that's counting. A 48-yard touchdown scamper.
And we can't give you the time.
Justin did a great job there, Jay, on that play, you know, making the end commit to him. The moment he did that, he was able to dish it out with the option pitch. His brother, Davion Dower, with a great block on the outside.
Davion Dower is very unsung for his blocking, I believe.
Whenever you see those big runs, you got to give credit to those wide receivers blocking downfield for 6 for the Titans.
And they set that up very well with the first option on the previous play to save on. Going for 2 now. Here's the same I formation. Chavis in front of Dower. Sturgill in the pink stockings under center. Near side, Nolan is alone. There's the give to Dower straight ahead. Dalen not going to get there. As the field announcer said, bottled up by a pack of dogs.
Got some leakage over down the left side in front of Myron Wilson and Yusuf over there.
So,
you know, coming into tonight, Jay, I wanted to see what this Titan offense and defense were going to bring. First road game of the year, where we're going to have jitters. They stepped up to the plate on that first drive, kind of taking the wind out of the sails of this Garfield Heights crowd over here.
66 plays and 66 yards and about 6 plays. Davion going 48 to move it. Caesar Jeter, number 4, sets the tee down, talks to the Lorain Student Athlete of the Week, Isaiah McDowell, stray dog.
Stray dog, pit bull, bulldog, whatever you want to call
The
him.
secret weapon. What did he tell me today? Bigfoot. That was what he told me tonight when I saw him.
Little buddy.
Just make sure you call him a player, because he is.
Tough.
From the 40, Jeter puts it in play with the right foot, end-over-end kick. Driving number 3 is Tyshawn Smith back to about the 16, takes it across the field, cuts it up, gets hit over there on the sidelines at about the 25. We'll have to check where he went out of bounds. Jermel Nolan on the play.
First and 10 at their own.
I don't know how much good it's going to do, Rick, but I just noticed that they have a handheld scoreboard with the time across the way, and it looks to be 10:28 left in the first quarter.
Oh, good Lord.
See it?
I see it right there.
So, first play of scrimmage for the Bulldogs. Also 2-1 on the year. They come out in the shotgun. Number 2, Jermaine Camp is the quarterback. Single setback behind him, takes the snap, turns, gives straight ahead for about 6 or 7. Nice hard run there. Well, let's make it 3 or 4. Jay, you gave him to him 6 yards deep. But a good hard run by number 25, Javante Wembley.
Davion Dower there with the tackle, who's really emerged as one of the Titans' leaders on defense. You can see him from a vocal standpoint and making plays.
One of the big things that the defense did last week was they flopped Antonio Wyatt and Isaiah McDowell between defensive end and on the ball to give Illyria a different look. Speed one time, strength the next. Give straight ahead, hit in the backfield. That's big tone. Wrapped up by Cairo Smith, but Antonio Wyatt blew that up in the backfield. As the technique met the play, because when you're on the nose, you either go left or you go right. He went left, and the ball did too. And he can split any double team. Third in a bunch, about 8. Camp calls the signal, now stands up, looks to the sideline. Zion Cross up tight in bump and run. Dalen Dower 15 yards off here on the inside receiver.
They like to run a lot of
that's Tyshawn Lighty.
Like to run a lot of crosses out of this formation.
Whistle. Somebody started dancing before the music was playing, I think. It's going to go 5 back on the procedure penalty.
Jay, one thing I notice about this Titan program as a whole is the bodies of these young athletes.
Oh.
The commitment from guys like Nathan Melendez, Kelvin Smith. You could just see from last year to this year what being in the weight room does to your athletes and this program.
Nate Melendez, Antonio Wyatt, Isaiah McDowell across the front. Kelvin Torres and Cairo Smith are the middle backers. Back to pass is Camp. Camp throws a long one, too tall. Just too tall for Tyrese Maddox, who was behind Lighty and Cross. And if you can do that, that means you can run.
Yeah, Lighty's technique, is something that I know Coach Wilt and the rest of the defensive staff will get on that, because if he would have stayed true to his drop, he probably would have picked that off.
So 4th down and 13, punt formation for the Bulldogs. Number 17, Ryan Carter, is in to punt. He is a backup quarterback. Deep for Lorain, number 1. Mr. Excitement, Tyshawn Lighty. About 15 yards behind the ball is Dower. Bad snap, high, goes back fair, catches it basically. It's going to hit short of the 50 and plug. And that rolls dead on the Garfield Heights side of the 50 at the 49, where the Titans will take over for the second time with 8:44 possibly left in the first quarter.
You're good if you can see that, Jay. Now, you got to like this field position to start for the Titans so far, on the plus side of the field on the second drive right at the 49-yard line.
Okay. Titans come out again with Chavis and Dower, the all-sophomore backfield behind Justin Sturgill. Near side, and Jermel Nolan and Zion Cross. Turn, give to straight ahead to Dower. He bounces it outside immediately, cuts it up. He's got 3-4s. He made somebody miss right at the line. A pack of dogs got him, but not before he got 3.
Yeah, he made the first guy miss at the line of scrimmage, was able to make that cutback, and that's something that you see him, again, always falling forward, always picking up yards.
Dakota Mincy in now for Dower as he's going both ways, so he'll get a little blow. think he had a shoe issue. Sturgill takes the snap, pitch to Mincy, who had to wait for the ball, and that's going to go nowhere. As the exchange on the option between Chavis and Sturgill, it's almost like they're playing tug of war sometimes. And Justin, as he got the ball out, was going down.
Yeah, he was losing his footing, and that was almost dangerous to even kick that out.
When he pitched it to Mincy, Mincy had to stop to catch it, and then that just blew up the whole play. So 3rd and 10. Might be time to look for one of the speed guys. Nope. Mincy straight ahead. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's going to be close enough that I'm going to think that they're going to go for it. Dakota Mincy with an 8-yard gain. It's going to be 4th and about 2.5.
I love the tempo with the Titans getting right back to the line of scrimmage after that big chunk play on the ground.
Sturgill calls out the signals. Twins to the far side. Single receiver near side is Lighty. Now Cross comes in motion to the near side. Stops, sets, snap, Chavis across the 40, down near the 36 for the first down. If the play stands, there was a flag.
Chavis, the ball carrier, brought down by number 44.
And they're pointing to Garfield Heights, which would lead me to believe that they might have gotten a mask.
Yeah, he's going to pick up the first down with the yardage that he was able to pick up, again about 4.5 there.
And 15 more on top of it, as it's the big one. Down to the 23-yard line. So Chavis with the first down run, +4, then the mask for 15 more. And just like that, the Titans are knocking on the door at the 22. Clock is wound, 6:59 to go, first quarter. Sturgill under center, changing the play. He's got Chavis and Mincy behind him. Toss sweep to Mincy. Love this play, and I love to watch Justin Sturgill get out in front of it.
Mincy, the ball carrier.
Mincy got 9 or 10. They stopped the clock, which would indicate that
Gain of 11, 1st and 10, Titans.
nobody moved the chains yet, though.
Jay, one thing you're going to give credit to on that run is David Larson getting out, sealing the linebacker there so you could spring that big run.
Yes. And I just love it. Not only does, when he does that toss sweep, Sturgill's out in front, Chavis is out in front, a couple tuba players from the band. They get everybody out there. I get a block, you get a block, everybody gets a block. It's like the Oprah show. Chavis up the middle for a few on first down. In the big scheme of things, those plays don't look like a lot, but you got to make the other team respect your inside game to get the ball outside.
Sets everything up with that triple option.
Dower back in now at tailback for Lorain. 2nd and 6. Chavis again. Sturgill pulls it out, keeps it. Sturgill up the middle. Sturgill to the house. Justin Sturgill.
About 9 yards.
16.
Give him 16 on that one.
Yeah. 16 yards for Sturgill on the keeper. Great read that time by Justin. And with 5:55 in the first quarter, as close as we can tell, Justin Sturgill now the attempt for 2. Turn, Sturgill pass, slant, dropped by Dower, and that doesn't happen often.
Ball just came in a little too hot for Davion Dowers running that slant. Great route run by Davion. He was able to beat the man press on the outside, got inside position, and just about a little too hard thrown. The ball was hard.
So it hadn't been a perfect start, Rick.
Exactly.
We missed two two-pointers, but 12-0 Titans halfway through the first quarter. 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns, 66 and 49 on the drives.
I don't know about you, Jay, but just the business-like approach that these young men have been taking about the season. Every game, you just see it coming, where they're just about their business, for lack of better words.
The fun part of those 2 drives is we got a lot of weapons we haven't used yet.
Correct.
Cross hasn't touched the ball. Lighty hasn't touched the ball. Nolan hasn't touched the ball. And Davion Dower just on the 2-point conversion there. But those are a lot of guys that we haven't used yet. Caesar Jeter to kick again from left to right. I told him I want to see him kick off 10 times tonight. He's on his way. This is number 3. End over end boot, and a good one. That's going to go into the end zone. Caesar Jeter with the touchback.
Sails to the end zone.
I want what he had for lunch.
Hey, you know, we've come a long way from week 1 where we were just barely able to get it off the tee, so very happy about that.
Well, we had some adventures last week, too.
Yeah.
What's that? Yeah, maybe that's it.
I did notice when I was coming off the highway that big old
You had to
hill
go
was
up
going
the ramp, so we were in a higher
man.
elevation.
Had to check the cardio of big Antonio White after this during the game.
Second possession for the Bulldogs. Jermaine Camp at quarterback with Javante Wembley behind him. 2 receivers to each side. Maddox and Camp. That's Jamar Camp to the near side. They might be twins. They're both seniors. Snap back. Oh, he's got a man wide open. About 5 yards downfield at the 25. Turned and gave up some ground. That is Tyrese Maddox. They played for the bubble screen that time, and both backs came up, and there was no one in that hole. Let's see if the Titans can adjust there before they get burnt. The receivers flip sides now. Williams and Jordan on the near side look this way again. That's Jordan. Jordan makes a move out to the 40-yard line where Tyshawn Lighty pulls him down, but a lot of yards without contact. We talk about yak, but there was no contact till the 15-yard gain. Their best offensive play by far.
A little rub route ran there by the outside receiver. He got a
little bit of a pick.
Congestion there, yeah.
Same look, same kind of play. Oh! Over the head of Tyshawn Lighty, who was playing the man as he should have. He took the inside position away on the route. If he'd have been peeking, he'd have had one.
Yeah, great pressure by Cairo Smith right up the middle, blitzing from that A-gap. Get that penetration, got pressure on the quarterback Camp. 2nd
and 10, 5:04 to go first quarter. Bulldogs look to the near side, 12-0 Lorain. If you joined us late, we don't have a scoreboard. Now the far side, all the receivers looking over here to the near side, but the quarterback's not. 3 receivers to the far side look, give straight ahead. That is Mr. McDowell. The stray dog gets in there underneath the play for about 3.
I mean, how frustrating is that? You know, your left and right tackles are going against, you know, Nate Melendez right around 6'2", and then Antonio White at 6'4", 6'5", and then you got Isaiah
at 5'2".
Yeah, I mean, it's just frustrating.
But a strong kid.
Yeah, great base.
He's a big kid. He's just not in a big kid's body. 2nd and 13. With the success they've had in the air at the beginning of this drive, and they've got an empty backfield, you got to believe that that's what they're looking at. There it is to the 3 side slant pattern. Just a touchdown saving tackle by Dalen Dower, but that'll take it over the 50. 18 yards, make it 17. 1st and 10 at the 46 of Lorain. And right now they're doing what Midview did in the second half. They're finding an open man every time they throw the ball.
Well, for blitzing, the linebackers are doing what they're supposed to do, throwing behind where the linebackers were, taking advantage of the Titans' aggressiveness.
Trips to the far side. Again, the empty backfield. Looking near side now, there's the throw out of bounds as Big Tone and Kelvin Torres got there. One of the Bulldogs lost the helmet. He'll have to come out for a play.
2nd down and 10.
Now, one thing, when you see this Titans front come up, you know, down after down, you got to bring your lunch pail because they're going to bring it.
Oh, yeah. Well, the strength of the defense is the front 3. Garfield Heights late to get some substitutions in. Now adds a tight end to the near side. 2 in the backfield, everything to the far side. Give coming back this way. That's Antonio Wyatt. That was a big hit. Oh, on the bottom of it, as the fulcrum there, was Isaiah McDowell.
Isaiah going low and McDowell or Wyatt going high.
3rd down and 8.
Trouble.
3rd and about 9 here, right at the 45. Now, twice they've had big gains on 3rd down on this possession with the slant. And both times it was a touchdown saving tackle. They spread the field, no safeties, that's why. There it is again. It's going to be a first down. Across 35, down to the 33.
Number 32 on the cover, Chavez. Gain of 12.
Little
Make it to 35,
there.
yeah.
Bubble screen set up on the right side. Well executed by the offensive line. Get downfield, pick up the blocks, and athlete make the play.
And you know, one of the places that teams attack Lorain is they've got two junkyard dogs for inside linebackers, but that being said, not the most mobile. So we've got a timeout, 3:19 to go, first quarter, and we're going to step away, and we'll be back with more after this timeout.
We make Marines who overpower the desire to quit with the perseverance to prevail. Not for glory, but for honor. For a code that isn't written or spoken, but lived. It's what we do. It's who we are. It's the battle cry of our fighting spirit. Battles won. See all the battles Marines fight to win at marines.com.
Back here at Garfield Heights, Titans on top 12-0. Now officially 2:44 to go first quarter. Joe's got a shot of the press box on the opposite side and the portable scoreboard in the window, because if he pans down to the other end of the field, you'll see that the main scoreboard is black. So some technical issues. Garfield Heights, a little bit of a roll here. Started at the 20 to the Lorain 35. There's the pump fake, and there's the long out behind the receiver. On the coverage was Tyshawn Lighty.
Number 4, Smith, incomplete.
Second and 10. Second and 10 hadn't been a problem on it. Third down has been the problem for the Titans, as Garfield Heights has converted 3 third and longs with a 15-yard, an 18-yard, and a 12-yard reception. Camp gives the hard count. All the Bulldogs but the center look over to the sideline. They've got the play signaled in now. 2:40 to go first quarter. Straight back, short drop. Looking for it all over top of Dalen Dower. Oh. I think they're going to say that Dower had a hold of the jersey. Oh, no. Pass interference offense is the signal.
Oh, wow.
They're going to say that the initial signal was that somebody grabbed the shirt by the back judge, and we couldn't see it. Obviously, they're running away from us, and it was Dalen Dower who had the jersey grabbed.
Yeah, Dalen was step for step for the intended receiver, and that was a well-thrown ball by Mr.
Sure
Camp.
was. Dalen did get a hand in, I think, to knock it free. As upset as these fans are on the Garfield Heights side, it would have been a lot worse if that had been caught. Back to the 50, so
ouch.
2nd and 25 for the Bulldogs. That was a well-thrown play. I've been impressed by Mr. Camp's ability to hit people on the move.
And he's been under duress most of the game so far, with pressure in his face.
Interesting that after the timeout, that's what they decided to go to, was 2 straight passes, including relatively long ones, down the near sideline and then down the hash on the far side. Camp calls out the signal, sends his back in motion. Bubble screen near side. Nice move by the receiver. Marlon Jordan put a move on Antonio Wyatt, who forced him back to the middle where the stray dog was waiting, and Isaiah took him down after a gain of about 5. 3rd and a long 19. Wyatt out.
Malik McCall checking in. What great pursuit by this defensive front of the Titans. That's something that you didn't see in years past from this program.
And what he's doing here is adding a little bit of speed and quickness on the offense, on the defensive line. Linebackers drop a little deeper. Cairo Smith 6 yards off the ball, now walks up. Lighty is deep at the safety position. Straight back, Jordan over the closest person to the play was Zion Cross, 21, and was intended for Tyrese Maddox, but not able to overcome the interference penalty. The Bulldogs will come out to kick. So we think. Minute 46 to go, first quarter. Titans 12, Dogs nothing. Ryan Carter is the kicker. Tyshawn Lighty deep at about the 20.
Number 1, Lady.
Mr. Excitement deep. There's a good snap. Kick is away. Low kick, bouncing straight up in the air yet again. Caught at about the 16-yard line.
Number 35, Thompson.
You know, I really like how Tyshawn Lighty, in that position, most sophomores are looking to make a play.
Right.
And he stayed away from it, did exactly like he's coached, which, again, is more evolution of this Titan program where they're learning how to play ball.
So officially the punt rolled or marked down at the 19, where the Titans will start with their third possession of the quarter. And far and away the worst field position.
First quarter, 1 minute, 44 seconds remaining, first quarter.
144, okay. Thank you. Sturgill under center. Chavis behind him. 2 receivers to the near side. Dower and Dower out to the far side. The near side is Nolan and Lighty. Sturgill turns, gives to Chavis. Chavis doesn't look like he got back to the line. Well, let's see. Give him a yard.
Carrier brought down by number 51, Watson. No gain. Second down and 10.
So far, Chavis on a night 4 carries 12 yards.
That wasn't Chavis. Now that I look at it, that was number 33.
Oh, snuck somebody in there on us.
Yeah. Jalen Cheers. Sturgill. He's got a man. That's Jermel Nolan. Nolan's out to the 40 for the first down.
Sturgill's pass completed to number 23. Nolan for a first down.
Mikey Harrell, who had such a good game against Elyria, had a separated shoulder at some point in that game, and he's not in uniform. Dalen Dower straight ahead. Dalen Dower is going to end up 60 yards to the house.
Wow. No flags, Jay.
Ball carrier takes it in for a Titan touchdown.
Again, running down that left side of that line with Myron Wilson and Yusuf Alzir blocking up front. Great job by the Titans.
So the Titans, 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns in the first quarter, and they went 81 that time after a 66 and a 49.
Wow.
So they've put up some yards.
Wait for this stat line after this 2-point conversion.
206 yards of offense in the first quarter by my rudimentary math and memory. Now Cheers is up in front of Mincy in the eye. That's Jalen Cheers, 33. Haven't seen him this year, but he's got the ball. Jalen Cheers, he's 6 yards deep in the end zone when they bring him down.
Nice job, Mr. Cheers.
Welcome to the varsity, Jalen Cheers.
For the conversion, 1 minute, 1 second unofficially remaining in the first
Dalen
quarter.
Dower tonight, Jay. 4 carries, 123 yards. Don't you?
That's not bad. That's about 31 yards a carry.
I need him on my fantasy team.
Yeah. Oh, and 2 scores.
Exactly. That, based on my scoring system, he would have given me 28 points.
And it's early.
The Mexican Express, we need him. That's my fantasy team, by the way.
Jalen Cheers, number 33, is a 5'6", 157-pound sophomore. And he is on the kickoff team, but I think that's the first offensive, because normally we would see Adrian Mills, but Adrian Mills is not in uniform either with some sort of injury. You know, it's the Knicks, a little bit of the Nick up time now. And you've got some guys over there. Harrell's going to get a couple weeks off, I guess, with the shoulder. Of course, he told them it happens all the time. Feel a little bit bad for Mikey. He had such a good game last week.
He did.
Coming on. Caesar Jeter again to kick. 4th time this quarter. Foot into ball. Last one was that's taken at about the 13. Out to the 25, and that's going to be stopped there. That's Smith.
Jeter with the tackle.
Jeter with the tackle there. You know, the Titans have, I hate almost to say this, but they've done such a good job covering kicks this year in maintaining their lanes.
Jay, I hope you just didn't give us a
know.
They've been doing an amazing job staying in their lanes, staying
If you're going to say it, it's 20-0 is when you want to say it.
39.
39. 39 seconds. Even though the clock says 53 on the far side, we'll go with the field official. 2 receivers to each side for the Bulldogs in their spread. Jermaine Camp, the quarterback, is having a good night throwing the ball. He's going to fake the handoff. This is the bubble screen.
Nice
Zion
job.
Cross fighting the block off. Might even a bit of a hold out to the 25. That's a great job for no gain.
Yeah, that's frustrating there, where you execute the play on the outside, but then with a great athletic play by Zion Cross. Who says that he's only a track guy? He's a football player, Jay.
Well, he used some quickness and speed to get around that block right there. Now, 2 receivers to the near side, 2 wide to the far side with a wing back. Single setback behind, turn straight ahead. Oh, that's going to be a flag. When they bring him down, it's going to be 15 more. Out to the 40 is number 25, Wembley, and he's going to get 15 to the end of that, because on the way by, Kelvin Torres got a hold of the bar.
Nice tough run by Mr. Wembley there. 5 carries for 21 yards on the night so far.
Well, we've played one here at Garfield Heights, and thus far it's been all Titans. Lorain 20, Garfield Heights nothing. Back with more after this timeout.
Ohio State is saving lives every day.
This is Ohio State.
We're the economic engine of the state, a major employer.
Over 60,000 students. We're on the forefront of cancer research. An educational core of Ohio.
Impacting tens of thousands daily.
Our alumni organization is nearly 500,000 worldwide.
This is Ohio State.
This is Ohio State.
Ohio State.
This is the Ohio State University.
Back here again at Garfield Heights, slipping everyone's mind is the fact that the quarter can't end on a defensive penalty. So Garfield Heights is still going from right to left. It's 1st and 10 at the Lorain 45. This will be an untimed down. 1st and 10 at the 45. Wembley is behind Camp in the backfield. 3 receivers to the far side. Wanted the bubble screen, threw it over top of Mincy. That was a great throw.
Camp's pass complete to number 13, Marlon Jordan.
Jordan on the reception there, get another 15 there, down to the 30, and that will end the first quarter. So now we will officially end the quarter. And at 20-0. Rick, what do you got stats-wise?
As I mentioned, for our Titans, 4 carries, 123 yards, a 30.7 yard per carry average for Dalen Dower. Dakota Mincy, 3 carries for 13 yards, averaging 4.3 yards a rip. And Chavis, 4 carries, 12 yards, averaging 3 yards a carry. Through the air, Sturgis 2 of 3 for 25 yards. The leading receiver is Michael Nolan, 1 for 21.
Very good. A lot of yards in the first quarter for the Titans. And Garfield Heights, when you put that on there, they have moved the ball rather well in the quarter, too. The first possession of the game, they did nothing. They were trying to establish the run, and they went nowhere. In fact, they lost yardage. But the last couple times, they've moved the ball.
Yeah, 19 plays for the Bulldogs, 91 yards. You have to commend Coach Wilt's bend but don't break defense, not giving up the big plays, and they were able to get off the field on 3rd down when they needed it the most.
Well, and the backs are against the wall here as Garfield Heights going to start the quarter. 1st and 10 from the 31 of the Titans. Bulldogs in a 20-0 hole, looking to get on the board. Antonio Wyatt over the ball. Nate Melendez and Isaiah McDowell. Near side in the secondary, you got Davion Dower and Dakota Mincy. Cairo Smith and Kelvin Torres, the linebackers. Snap, fake the sweep, pass back shoulder. I don't know if it was intended to be that way, but it sure was a good back shoulder throw to Tyrese Maddox. Nothing that Tyshawn Lighty could do. As Maddox brought it in, he knocked him out of bounds at the 5, but it'll be 1st and goal. And that's just how they designed that play, and that's just why they designed that play. If you're running stride for stride with the guy, you cannot defend both the front and the back.
Yeah, they sent that jet look on the front side, backside, one-on-one throw. Great play by the Bulldogs there.
So 1st and goal at the 5. Titans against it. Camp, turn, give. Breaking a tackle, and then Melendez and Cairo Smith get him right about the 5-yard line for no gain. Davion Dower knifed through there and he blew up the play, but he wasn't able to make the tackle for a loss.
Second and goal.
You like to see him break down when he gets there to make that play. He's looking for that highlight hit. Sometimes it's better just to take him down.
2 receivers to the near side with a slot back. Fake, pass, slant, touchdown.
Camp's pass complete to number 5, Maddox for a football touchdown.
Nice slant route there ran by the outside receiver, Maddox. Just beat the man-to-man press coverage on that slant. He got him across his face and was able to make the play.
Well, 20-6. They're going to look for the kick to convert. The kicker is number 42, Yusef Jabrin. Leon Webb is the holder. 20-6. Titans look a little bit disorganized here. Not much rush, bad snap. Somebody got a hand on it, maybe. Was it Tone right up the middle?
Unofficially 11:07 remaining until half. It is now.
I think it was.
Garfield Heights.
It was Big Tone. It was either Wyatt or one of the guys he threw toward the kicker.
Oh, Jay, real quick on that scoring drive, one thing that you noticed that Camp was given time to throw. They were getting the ball out of his hands quickly. Didn't have as much pressure as they had on those previous drives, and they capitalized on answering to that Titan score.
And they got a little bit of help from the defense with a couple of penalties, and made some big plays. Again, the pass that got him there was 26 yards to get the first and goal. And the Titans just ran out of turf. So 20-6 with 11:07 to go in the half. Titans on top, and they'll get the ball. For Lorain thus far, it's been 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns.
Very, very efficient.
You'd like to see one of the deep guys get a chance here to run. You've got Lighty, number 1, and Cross, 21, deep at the 10.
The Titans, number 1, Lighty, and number 21.
Next level, Chavis and Jeffrey Wardlow in the middle. Mincy and Dalen Dower at the 35.
You mentioned Wardlow. Wardlow's a freshman.
Yes, he is, and I know the coaching staff is very high on him. As tough as anybody in the program as a freshman, they say. End over end kick near side. Tyshawn Lighty takes it at the 18, takes it back to the far side, cuts, reverses field up the middle. Now he cuts to the far side again, caught from behind. A lot of action for about a 5-yard return.
Tyshawn Smith.
A little bit of bad luck there for the Titans as the return was set up to the far side and the kick came here. Just a long way to go to get it. They're going to spot it right at the 25, so give him 7 on the return. And the Titans will put it in play there. That's where Rashawn Rogers will snap the ball. Alzier and Larson the guards. Lars Sosa and Wilson the tackles. Sturgill with Chavis and Dower behind him. Twins to the far side. Nolan alone on this side. Bump and run coverage on Jermel. Sturgill calls it out.
Watch that run!
Straight back, Justin Sturgill. Quick out. That was Mincy. Mincy got about 1.
Sturgill's pass complete to number 21.
That's Cross. Zion Cross, actually.
Brought down by number 4, Tyreek Smith. Gain of 2.
Not
Second
bad.
down, 8.
Officially, we'll give him 2, since the field announcer did. Second and 8. Cross again, the inside receiver on the far side with Dower outside. Save on Chavis. That went nowhere.
When the guard is in the backfield 2 yards, you know that play is going to be destined for failure, and that's what happened there. Larson kind of got blown up there and forced back into Chavis.
No gain now. Big play for the Titans if there, is such a thing at the beginning of the second quarter. 3rd and 8. Garfield Heights with a lot of momentum. You'd hate to give it back to them right now. Your defense just gave up a lot of yards and a touchdown. Sturgill behind Cross, and incomplete. It's going to be 4th down.
To that point, Justin had been 3 or 4 to that point in the game throwing the ball. Only a second incomplete pass.
Back deep punt for the Bulldogs, number 4, Smith.
Isaiah McDowell is the punt snapper.
Smith.
Dalen Dower the up man. Justin Sturgill is the kicker.
Number 29, Sturgill.
Deep men at their own 40 for Garfield Heights. Twin safeties. Good snap by McDowell. Sturgill puts a boot into it. High kick. Caught at the right at the 40. Slobber. Cairo Smith took out the
the up man there. Holy
Cairo.
mackerel.
I don't know, have any idea what this is. Now they're going to call it a horse collar.
Well, it didn't look like his hands got inside.
It was so late.
It didn't look like it was inside his actual shoulder pad. He grabbed jersey, but I don't think he grabbed inside his shoulder pads, but the ref called it.
That's what they called. The back judge, it was just, I can't say whether it was or it wasn't. It's just that people were running off the field when the flag came out. So that's 15 more yards, and here we go again. Titans already with a lot of big penalties in this game. That's at least the fourth 15-yarder.
Yeah, you hate to see that, especially on the road. You want to play a clean game and not let these guys back into the game.
I was going to say, and you get a 20-0 lead. The last thing you want to do is potentially give up back-to-back scores, but the Bulldogs are in business at the Lorain 36. Camp looks near side. Next to him is Wembley. Twins to each side. Now Wembley settles over on Camp's left in the gun. Motion this time. Fake the jet sweep, throw the long out. He's just overthrew as I'm not sure if Mincy thought he had over the top help or if Dower got caught peeking in the backfield.
Yeah,
but there wasn't a good change if that was supposed to be an over the top coverage, and the potential receiver Gamble was 5 yards in the clear, but the ball was overthrown. 2nd and 10. Now you can tell that this Bulldog offense likes the big play.
They do.
Snap back, straight back. Camp wants a screen. He's got the man out here. Cairo Smith in pursuit. There's a flag, and I think you're going to get number 66 downfield.
You know, with those screens, there's a lot of timing that goes in, that is involved to execute that play properly, and sometimes the big nasties get a little excited when they get a chance to run downfield with the running backs. Oh, they're calling against the Titans.
No flag. They're going to say he wasn't that far downfield. That was the original flag. That was what it was for, and they waved it off. 3rd down and about 4. Right at the 30-yard line.
And that screenplay, Jay, has been kind of the Achilles heel of this Titans defense. They've been getting burned week in and week out with that play.
The screen pass and the short crossing route. Camp looks over to the sidelines. Wembley behind him. Camp stands at the 35. Straight back to throw. Melendez hits him as he releases. Oh, my goodness. Dalen Dower.
4th down and 4.
Normally, you'd say that's why you play defense, son, but he's the Titans' leading rusher.
Yeah, he's a tremendous athlete, and I know he would love to have that back. You can see his dismay and by his body language, because he knows if he catches that ball.
He's in an open field. He's got 90 yards in front of him, but you like him in a broken field.
Bulldog's going to go for it.
Well, why not? Too close to punt. And the extra point kick didn't give any indication that they could kick a field goal from here. 2 in the backfield now for Camp. Camp turns near side in between. One-handed catch. One-handed catch. What a play by Marlon Jordan.
Got a 25-yard pickup there.
At the 9. Wow.
Great hands there.
Mincy was there, and just a great catch. Sometimes the other team makes a play, and that's just what happened there again, like the long completion on the previous drive.
Odell Beckham Jr. has made that play sexy.
And the Dogs have found something that works. 1st and goal at the 9. A little confusion now. Trips to the far side, throws the out, has a man, touchdown. That is number 1, J.T. Gamble, on a 9-yard completion, and with 9:12 left.
Great
Bulldogs.
Jay, they did a great job exploiting the man-to-man coverage.
The inside man took Savon Chavis, the linebacker, out to the flag, the swinging gate, and then they come back in and form up for the kick. Just another annoyance that you make team prepare for, but they don't have 11 guys yet. Whistle, timeout, Garfield. There's nothing I'd rather waste a timeout on in football than an extra point.
Terrible.
I mean, especially if you're going to kick.
Right.
Because if you're going to make it from the 10, you're going to make it from the 15. Now, if you're down 2 in the last couple of minutes and going to go for 2, that's something else. Garfield Heights calls timeout, counts to 11, and sends him back out.
Ladies and gentlemen, during the fun day, there was a purse and a pair of Air Jordans left in the parking lot. They have them in the north end of the end zone. If you can go down there and describe it, they have them for you.
Yusef Grin is the kicker. 44 Leon Webb is the holder. It's 20-12 right now. The first quarter belonged to the Titans, 20-0, and thus far in the second quarter, it's 12-0 Garfield. All 5 touchdowns scored at this end of the field, the north end. Snap down, kick up, and knocked it through. Jabrin knocks it through.
It is now Lorain 20, Garfield Heights 14.
13, right?
There was a purse and a pair of Air Jordans.
Yeah, that is correct, Jay. It's 13.
They've got 14 up there.
Because the first field goal was blocked.
You go over by the north end of the end zone. They have them for you. I got people asking me what size. I don't know what size.
There seems to be a pair of lost Jordans, and I know they're not mine.
No. This was fun days in the Garfield community, and there are a bunch of inflatables in the parking lot to the south end.
Yeah, the punt, pass, and kick competition going on before the game. That was really nice to see the community out.
And then they had a how loud can you tolerate the music contest going for a while, too. I was one of the first ones out.
Well, Jay, some of the boys were saying you were twerking about the 20-yard line. Is that accurate?
Twitching is what the word that they were using. Twitching.
Twitching. Yes, as you were frantically trying to get rosters.
Yes.
For the Garfield Heights Bulldogs.
And the Lorain Titans, as first road game, we have a few players in different numbers. So thank you. There's nothing worse than when you give a score, the field announcer gives a different score, and even though I know I'm right, I panicked until he just corrected it. Garfield Heights to kick from left to right, and it's a big possession for the Titans. Zion Cross at the 15. To the far side again, Zion, 20, gives ground, cuts it up, gets to about the 22, nothing left there.
Yeah, that was actually Tayshawn.
Was it Tayshawn?
That one, yes.
Okay.
You see on those last 2 returns, it is more east and west instead of north and south. You like to see him cut it up a little sooner than that, but I know it was set up block return right, but I'd like to see him cut that up there.
And you would almost think that the directional kick is designed for that, because most times Lorain seems to return right. And they have been kicking off opposite that. Well, big possession here. 1st and 10 at the 22. Sturgill under center. Single setback is Mincy. End around. That's Zion Cross. Nolan gets a block out here. Zion cuts it up. Zion to the 26. Nicely done. Great contain and good angles by the linebacker, particularly 51, Aaron Watson. But the man that did the job was the cornerback out here, number 10, Middleton. Now Cross goes to the far side as a 3rd receiver. Nolan is alone on this side. Chavis and, Cross goes off. Straight back, that's Mincy. Mincy bounces it. Mincy's being pursued. Mincy's going to lose yards. And right now they're beating the Lorain line.
Yeah, and one thing about this matchup, the athleticism that the Bulldogs bring to the table, they are going to be able to run sideline to sideline with our Titans. We have to win at the point of attack, Jay.
Well, we have to complete a pass is what we've got to do, basically. We're trying everything we can, but we have to complete a pass a little bit down the field. 3rd and 9. Chavis is the only setback, twins to each side. Sturgill keeps it on the option. Sturgill's got a first down out across the 35 to the 36. Justin Sturgill with the big play. Give him 14. Well, they put it at the 35. Give him 13 at the 35. And that was a huge, huge play by Justin Sturgill.
Justin has just enough wiggle to burn you. He's not super fast, but he's just quick enough to get to that second level. Great run right there.
I formation. Sturgill, two-step drop, quick out. Has Davion Dower for about 4 or 5.
Pass complete to number 2, Dower. Hustled out of bounds.
Looks like they're going to spot it right at the 40. 5-yard gain.
I like that play, Jay. Get it out of his hands quickly.
Complete the pass. That's the big thing. Sturgill again in the I formation. Quick snap. Straight ahead, Dower. Dower's got 5. Dower's got 10. Dower is off to the races. Dalen Dower, 60 yards to the house.
Wow.
All things being equal, Dalen Dower's a heck of a football player.
That's video game stuff, Jay. He got to that second level. It was like he held down R2, got that burst of speed like you do on the PS4 or Xbox, took it to the second level. And when he's man-on-man with you, you're not winning that race. He's got that second gear.
As they say, if he's even, he's leaving.
He's gone.
What's his yardage total now?
5 carries, 183 yards.
Oh, 36.5 a carry. Not bad.
Ripping it.
You know, you have to start looking now. Davion was at about 260 on the season coming into this game. He might double up.
Yeah, he looks that way.
Mincy in at tailback now behind Chavis. Sturgill under center. Near side Nolan. Dower and Cross to the far side. Gives up. It's the pitch out. Mincy, one man to beat to the corner. Not going to do it.
Yeah, if Davion makes that block on the outside.
Well, a safety came over from the inside with a nice angle there as the receivers both had somebody, but 7:09, 26-13.
Lorain 26, Garfield Heights 13.
I mean, Jay, we were talking. I mean, Davion could score anywhere on this field. He could take it. Dalen could score anywhere on this field. Put the ball in his hands and put him in a position to succeed. And the offense for the Titans has done that to this point in the season. He'd have more touchdowns and more yards if he didn't have so many called back in the early goings of the season.
Right. He and Lighty both. I mean,
yeah. We still really haven't called Tyshawn's name yet.
Yeah, a kickoff return. That's about it.
Yeah.
Caesar Jeter kicking from right to left or from north to south here. 7:09 first half.
Bay is beating Parma 2-0. Bottom of the second.
Got some baseball scores going around in the area. Bay beating Parma 2-0.
Caesar Jeter to kick. Foot into ball, high end over end kick down to about the 10. Coming near side. Titans. Great pursuit angles again. That's Marquintez Graham as they turned it up. Gave a little bit more than you'd like to.
Bulldogs will have it first and 10 at their own. 33.
Looks like about the 33-yard lines where they're going to put it down. Bulldogs will go in business from there. The last 2 times they've had the ball, they've converted on touchdown passes of 5 yards and 9 yards after lengthy drives. Well, the last one was a 36-yarder.
Yeah, Jermaine Camp has really turned it up, notched it up over there at the quarterback position. 12 of 21, 2 touchdowns. He's got a good connection there with Jordan.
He's in the gun with Wembley 8 yards off the ball behind him. Got a wing back on the far side now. Looks like more of a blocker than a runner. 44 Leon Webb. He's also the holder. They list him as a fullback. Now they move Wembley to the near side. Going to throws the look in. Oh, Tyshawn Lighty almost had himself a score. That was intended for Maddox, number 5. Lighty jumped the route and had both hands on the ball and let it hit his pads, and it bounced away.
Yeah, Lighty came up, and you know one thing: if that young man makes that play there, he could be talking 6.
I don't think there's much doubt if he makes it with a full head of steam right there, because everybody else going the other way. So 2nd and 10. Camp, turn, give. Nothing there. That's Cairo Smith. But nice job up front by Malik McCall to blow that up. Malik got penetration and let Cairo clean up.
Yeah, he submarined that offensive tackle. The left tackle there was able to submarine the guy and make that play. And Cairo, as you mentioned, did clean up there. Third down and long.
Here we go. The Titans' Achilles heel all night has been 3rd and long defensively. 2 receivers to each side. Wembley behind. Straight back to pass. Over the middle. Knocked away nicely by Dower. Dower waited till the ball got there. Dalen Dower went over and around to knock that away. 4th and 10. And boy, just what the doctor ordered was a touchdown and a 3 and out.
Great football instinct displayed there by Dower. Now we'll see if we can get Lighty the ball in his hands on this punt return.
Back deep to punt for the Bulldogs, number 17.
Carter is in punt formation. Lighty's back here at about the 42 of the Titans. High snap. Carter brings it down, gets the punt away, and it's a good one. It's high. Lighty's going to let it hit, and it's going to cost the Titans that he did that, as it's going to be touched down at about the 20. Got about 18 yards of roll there. But that's one of the disadvantages of the single setback.
Correct.
You know, when you decide you're going to put 1 back or 2, you're almost giving up that angled punt.
Officially 5:59 remaining until half.
A very generous roll for the Bulldogs there. They got there. Great execution, where on the last one it was almost a terrible snap that they had.
Yeah. So 5:59 to go unofficial. Now they set it to 5:52. My wife's not going to believe me that I read that scoreboard across the field the whole night. Mincy is the setback behind Chavis. Sturgill under center. 2 to the near side. That's Cross and Nolan. Far side, looks like it might be Dower. Straight back Sturgill.
That's
Cross. Cross. Zion, he had it and it bobbled it, and the contact made him drop it. It was good defensive play there as Zion got underneath the coverage, but as he got his hands on the ball, they got their hands on Zion, and it popped loose.
Yeah, he caught it, dropped it, and that was 6.
Well, if he breaks free, nobody's catching him. We know that. 2nd and 10. Straight back, that's Mincy. Mincy breaks it outside. Mincy 30, 40, 45, and out of bounds. Dakota Mincy out near the 45. I think they're going to spot it about the 44.
About a 25-yard rip.
Let's see where they put it down. Now they're going to put it down at the 43. I know it's a first down.
23 yards.
23.
1st and 10, Titans.
Very good. Big play on 2nd and 10. Mincy says, I want some carries too. Sturgill calls out the play. Chavis now set straight back. Downfield. He's got Cross too far for him. Need a little air.
Sturgill's pass intended for number 20.
Well, I think you could attribute some of that those passes, I think, to some of the early pressure that Justin got early on in the game. His feet just weren't quite set on that throw, Jay.
And that was a max protect there as he kept both backs in. And just needed a little bit more air as Zion broke under the coverage as the coverage stumbled. So 2nd and 10 once again. Chavis alone behind Sturgill. Dower goes in the hole on the far side inside a Cross. He pump fakes. That's just too tall. Dower was behind the whole world, and it just was too much on a line. If that would have been thrown up like a punt, the closest people to Dalen were cheerleaders.
Yeah, when they're basically, they have no safeties back there.
Right.
Everybody's at the line of the scrimmage daring this Titan squad to throw the ball.
And complete a pass.
Has to.
Now Dower comes back in to the tailback position on 3rd and 10. Straight ahead give. Dalen puts his head down. He's got 5. Now give him 4. Out to the 37.
4th
and 6. 5:16 clock running.
Number 4, Smith, set the punt, Sturgill.
Deep for Garfield Heights. Number 3 is Smith. Number 4 is Smith. So I'm guessing that Smith's going to field the punt if Sturgill kicks it. Marquintez Graham now is the up back. Interesting because last time it was Dower. Low snap. Justin drops it, picks it up, and gets it away. Smith catches it and runs out of bounds.
Smith returns the punt, hustled out of bounds.
Yes,
About the 30.
42.
Savon Chavis was the first guy there. You'd like to see him make that play, but didn't cost us any.
First and 10.
Make it at the 31.
Around 32 yards.
32, okay, thank you, sir.
4 minutes, 50 seconds remaining until half, unofficially 4:50.
Okay, we are under 5 minutes to go in the half. Unofficially 4:50 to go. 4:35.
4 minutes, 35 seconds.
That had been good communication between the press box and the clock keeper on the field. Spread all over the field as you've got a man 40 yards wide to the near side. Mincy out there one-on-one. Give on the delay. Been waiting for this one. Cairo Smith and friends, but it's out across the 35 to the 38.
Brought down by number 8, McCall.
Pickup of about 6. McCall on the play.
Torres.
Malik McCall. That's 8, not 9.
Had that little delay action in the backfield. He got those ends to come upfield. Great job by Malik in pursuit to come back and make the play.
Right. They've had a very good offensive game plan. There's a reason that they're 2-1. They're pretty good. Second down 4. Low snap, picked up off the ground, thrown out here wide on the bubble screen. Breaks in 2 tackles and spinning out to about the 42. It's going to be a first down. Could have been a lot worse as he broke a couple tackles out here. Dower and Mincy. McCall out, Melendez back for the Titans. Big Tone over the ball. Submarined him that time. Oh, look at this. Oh, my, is he open. That's going to be a touchdown. That is going to be a touchdown to J.T. Gamble. All those bubble screens turned into a pump and go.
57 yards. Camp is getting hot, Jay. Big play over top for 6.
Well, they've got us biting on the bubble screen. And second touchdown of the game for number 1, J.T. Gamble. And the pump fake from the bubble screen resulted in nobody being anywhere in the same zip code. Now they'll attempt at 26-19. That kick is up and is good.
Unofficially 3:33 remaining until half. It is now Lorain 26, Garfield 20.
Now you would think if the half ended right now that Lorain should be the team that feels good at 26-20, but they're the ones with the 20-0 lead.
You know, the one thing they're doing is doing a great job taking advantage of our aggressiveness by our backers. I'd like to see if the defense can make an adjustment so they're not blitzing so much and dropping into those passing lanes to make a play.
Well,
Bedford 27, Copley 7.
You know, interesting because what we did to Elyria last week was shut down the middle of the field and dared them to go outside and beat us, and they were unable to through the air and what we've said to Garfield Heights is we're going to shut down the middle of the field and dare you, and they beat us outside. They beat us with, you know, with the bubble screen, which is nothing more than a wide running play, just a quick way to get it out there one-on-one, and some of the fake bubble screens and slants and things like that. They have a very nicely designed package of pass plays for this game. And what's their total yards through the air?
On the night there, Camp is 14-24 with 200 yards and 3 touchdowns through the air.
And most of that damage is in the second quarter.
Yeah, they were kind of on their heels after that first quarter, but they've hung in.
So foot and ball will meet once again. End over end kick near side. Tyshawn Lighty at the 18. Again going to the far side, cuts it up. Breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle out to about the 26 where he's wrapped up. That's what we've been looking for, though, is for him to cut out. 10, Reese Middleton. 15, Donald Willis on the tackle. 3:27.
Their own 27-yard line.
3:27 unofficially on the clock. Ball spotted at the 27 of the Titans.
And Jay, the last 2 weeks we've been giving up, or the last couple weeks we've been giving up touchdowns right before the half. Let's see if we can drive and score right before the half.
Well, and starting in the first week when Midview was trailing 20-0 and put one in the end zone with 15 seconds left, it's just been a bugaboo. Now you want to pick up, you don't want to go too fast here, but you definitely need to pick up a first down. That's Cheers in the backfield behind Sturgill. Justin straight back, 5-step drop, under some pressure now. Up ahead, Justin Sturgill's got a first down, and more face mask going to be called as he's out to the 48.
Sturgill, the quarterback keeper, brought down.
Well, that is the horse collar is what they're calling the jersey.
Got a flag on the play.
Justin's whole shoulder pad was out from the neck tackle. Now,
you know, the quarterback's clock, internal clock went off. He says, man, I've been holding the ball way too long. Let me get out of here. He scampers out, makes a couple moves. Again, I talked about his wiggle earlier. He didn't go down when he got first contact, showing the kind of athlete that he is.
Now, that was a 5-yard variety of face mask. So the Titans go across the 50 with 3:15 clock running as Sturgill snaps the ball. Mincy bounces it out. There's a flag. That's going to be on Cheers. Yes.
Mincy, the ball carrier.
He's going to get called for holding in the backfield. I think we all saw it.
Lorain.
Jalen is a sophomore. He's been pressed into action.
Second correction,
Just
first down 20.
some injuries and things like that. Normally, it'd be Mikey Harrell, who kind of took over that position last week. But that holding penalty is going to cost 10 from the spot, so it's actually 11, going to be 1st and 21. 3:08 to go. They're trying to wind the clock, but being ignored. Sturgill, quick out, knocked it behind Dower.
Incomplete. Second down 20.
I mean, I like the idea, Jay, 2-step, 3-step drop, getting the ball out of Justin's hands quickly, but there's still a lot of pressure in his face. Maybe get him back in the shotgun, give him some time to survey the field.
I'd like to see him take a shot down the field. So would Tyshawn Mincy, by the way. Or Tyshawn Lighty, straight back. There it is. There's Tyshawn. Tyshawn across the 50, down inside the 45 to the 44. Still about 8 or 9 yards short of the first down as they spot it right at the 45.
13 yards on the pass completion.
Give him 13.
Third down 7.
Third and a makeable 7 yards. Nice throw by Justin that time in front of the safeties. Nolan out, cross in on the near side.
Lighty's first reception.
Lighty comes out, 3 receivers to the near side. Mincy, Lighty, and Cross from inside out. Davion Dower to the far side. Snap back. Throw. Back shoulder to Davion. Davion dropped the ball. Picked it up. I can't understand why that would have been incomplete.
Wow. It looked like he had possession of the ball, made a play, and then dropped it as he made the play.
The back judge is calling it incomplete. The side judge is saying complete. Coach McFarland not too happy with the outcome. 2:21 to go, 4th and 7. Titans give no indication of punting. Mincy next to Sturgill. 3 receivers to the near side. There's 2:04 straight ahead. Takes it out, brings it down. In trouble now. Bray makes it move. Got the first down and a lot more. There's another jersey. They must have said that one was the sleeve. Justin Sturgill doing it on the ground. 28.
Justin putting up some nice yards on the ground so far.
Titans ball resting at the Bulldog 24 yards.
81 yards.
Yeah, 24-yard line now for the Titans. Now it's under 2 minutes to play. There's the bubble screen to Tyshawn Lighty. Tyshawn outside, beats the first man down the sideline, out of bounds. But he picked up 10, maybe 11. We're too low to see where they're spotting it, but I can see the man signal first down. Timeout Garfield
Timeout
now.
Bulldogs. Thompson on that last tackle.
Really, really like that play call, Jay. You got get that ball into Leidy's hands because he's electric with the ball, but just simple. Turn around, pitch it to him, almost like a handoff.
1:34 remaining until half.
Okay, a minute 34 to go.
Lorain
26-20. Titans with the ball. It looks like that's the 5-yard line, doesn't it? Maybe it's the 10. I can't see.
It's hard for me to see from my angle.
It looks like it's the 10 based on where the pylon is. So we're going to call it. Joe Bach confirms it's the 10, so we're going to call it first and goal as the ball is just on the 10-yard line. So 14 yards on that last pass.
Yeah, they dropped the sticks.
Tyshawn, the sticks are on the ground. Well, they're not on the ground, but they're together. And the Titans will have it first and goal.
First and goal.
Titans have 3 timeouts, I believe.
First and goal at the 10.
Sturgill in the gun now with Chavis next to him. 2 to each side. Justin looks over the defense. Straight back, fake the bubble screen, pulls it down. Justin straight ahead. Maybe got a couple.
Brought down by number 32.
4,
Peterson.
right at about the 6.
Second and goal from the 6.
Give Justin 4. He's approaching 100 yards on the ground this half.
He's big time on the ground tonight. Man-to-man coverage on this play. 2
to each side. Chavis again, straight back. Sturgill over the middle, slant, touchdown.
Sturgill's pass complete.
Dakota Mincy.
Mincy to the house.
Number 27, Mincy for a Titan touchdown.
Well, Rick, that's what you said. Can we get one at the end of the half?
Exactly, and that's one thing about Justin. Very, very intelligent young man. He recognized the man-to-man coverage, seeing Dakota Mincy in the slot, run that quick 5-yard slant. There was no safety help. 6.
Well, and it staunches the bleeding a little bit if the Titans can go into the half with this lead. At the end of the first quarter at 20-0, you're thinking running clock?
Yeah, and I you know what? I was thinking that in my mind. I was like, man, where am I going to go to eat after the game? And next thing you know, they're back in this thing.
Sturgill now in the fully loaded gun with Chavis and Mincy on either side. 2 receivers to the near side. Nolan is the single receiver. Tried to throw the same pass, but it was knocked down. It was intended for Dower. So
officially 103 remaining until half. 103 remaining until half.
That was a play that they ran with a lot of success last year to Deshaun Brooks.
Yep.
That inside scissor action, play action pass, freeze the linebackers, but it was knocked down at the line of scrimmage.
Rick, one of the problems you have here if you're the Titans is you've scored 5 touchdowns and you've only converted 1 conversion.
So chasing those points all night.
At 2 apiece, 40 is 32 now. So you're actually a touchdown and conversion behind where you could be.
Exactly.
And instead of being up 20 or whatever it might be, you're up 2 plays and 12 points. Caesar Jeter, who's certainly earning his letter this half. 5 touchdowns, so this will be 5 kickoffs for Caesar. And he'll kick off to start the second half as well, as Garfield Heights had the option and deferred. Jeter, right to left. 1:09 to go unofficially, first half. Good boot, pulled it though, might go down to one of the up men. Straight ahead, there's a cutback. Marquintez Graham grabbed on. Marquintez blown dead as Marquintez had the laundry down about the waist and he was not letting go.
He had that death grip on that jersey. Thank God it wasn't one of those breakaways from the 70s.
Let's see where they spot this.
Bulldogs will have it first and 10.
Got a pretty nice spot at the 29. I would have said maybe the 25 and split the difference between where the Titans kind of just wandering out here and Garfield Heights ready to go. Now,
is that Manning that checked in, number 41?
Javon Manning, the freshman. And pass out to the near side is caught on one knee by Gamble. Make him keep it inside of you.
6, second down and 4.
Clock running. Garfield Heights with one timeout as they used one on my favorite play, the extra point.
See if that comes back to bite him.
There's the slant intended for Gamble. He certainly had room in front of Mincy.
3rd down and 4.
Javon Manning, the safety now, the freshman, number 41, as Dowers just getting a blow, I think.
You know, he was battling cramping last week. I wonder if that's the problem again tonight.
Linebackers, a little bit of depth for the Titans. Kelvin Torres is 5 yards off the ball. Motion, no setback, going to come back this way on a bubble screen. Isaiah McDowell blew that play up. Isaiah made a good recognition there.
He sure did.
And he sent it back to the middle. Cairo Smith and Nate Melendez cleaned it up, but the secret weapon got outside.
Honda Civic, license plate GFL 9296.
According to the
tow truck's here ready to tow once again.
The clock, that might be it.
Civic, license plate
1 second left.
GFL 9296.
Garfield Heights takes timeout. Now, we don't know if the clock is official on the far side, but Joe, if you can get a look, we got 1 second left on the clock. Now, again, that's not official. And I have seen no indication from any of the officials how much time is left. What we know is that Garfield Heights has the ball. 4th down and 2, 1 second, and no timeouts left. What you have to guard for the long one, and you have to guard for the defensive penalty, which came back to bite the Titans at the end of the first quarter.
You know, if I'm the Titans, I'm dropping back, 30 yards deep. My athletes just saying, hey, don't let anybody get behind you. Don't worry about the bubble screen. Just don't let anybody get behind you. Just back up.
Well, they've got athletes. They've come a long way since we were here 2 years ago. Now, they had a player that by the name of A.J. Rose 2 years ago. He's at the University of Kentucky. But we beat him about 7 ways to Sunday that night. And the young guys actually showed better than the older guys. I'm not sure what that whistle was, but you know what it was? It was the scoreboard clock going off with the mic where the field microphone was. That's the end of the first half. Lorain 32, Garfield Heights 20. A little bit like a basketball score. But that's the end of the first half. We'll go away here, coming back for the banjo. Joe Bach's going to come back and give you the Lorain High School Marching Titans after this timeout.
Hi, my name is Brandon Tolliver. I'm 16 years old and I am in the 10th grade at Lorain High School. I am a robotics student in Lorain High's Career Technical Education program. Robotics is part programming and part hands-on building. This program taught me how to use a very specific skill set. You get to use a power saw, drill bits, and a CNC machine. You get to use and do stuff that you can't do or use at home. After I started the program, I knew I made the right decision. I really like working with my hands. I like to see myself as an inventor. We program quite a bit of code. Programming codes is basically creating memory thoughts for a robot. You can make your robot do all kinds of things like fold clothes, walk, or even throw frisbees. I learned all of this in Mr. Bogan's class. There are teachers who just read. Then there are teachers who go out of their way to make learning fun. After my truly great experience in the robotics program, I now know what I want to do in my life, and I'm doing it thanks to Lorain High's Robotics Career Tech program.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Lorain City Schools proudly present the 2017 edition of the Lorain High School Titans Marching Band. The band is under the direction of Timothy Civic, assistant band directors are Dave Hager, Ted Terhune, and Chris Woden. Volunteer flag advisors Chiquita Jones. The band is led on the field by drum majors Jemiah Greenhill and Jonathan Bergen. This evening's show starts anthem with its next nationally televised performance at the National Thanksgiving Day Parade in Detroit. We close tonight's show with Cheap Thrills. Lorain High School Titans Marching Band.
Veterans benefits earned through your service in the National Guard or Reserve can offer a range of support.
I wouldn't be here today as a successful woman without the help that I received.
From home loans to job training, go to benefits.va.gov/Guard Reserve to find out more, even how to apply online using e-benefits.
This is one of the best things I ever did in my life.
We were very fortunate to have these benefits, so we definitely ought to use them.
Achieve your next mission. Learn about your VA benefits today.
For the thousands of wounded warriors returning from battle, Wounded Warrior Project has developed the Warriors to Work program, a unique program that helps wounded warriors translate their military experience to the civilian workplace. The Warriors to Work program also works with employers to find the right job for the right warrior. Contact Wounded Warrior Project at findwwp.org. Welcome home the brave.
Every year, the Salvation Army serves nearly 30 million people in need. That's one person every second. So by the time you've finished watching this, 30 more lives will have been changed for good. All thanks to your donations.
Thank you.
Back here at Garfield Heights, second half action. Blake Bartlett made a kick for the Titans. Evidently, Caesar Jeter's leg's tired. Bartlome, directional kick is going to go into the cheerleaders at about the 30. I'm not sure what caused the change, as Bartlome watched Caesar Jeter kick off 5 times in the first half. It was 20-0 Titans at the end of the first quarter, Rick, and everything looked like this was going to be an early and an easy night. But Garfield Heights came back with 20 points of their own in the second quarter, and it was a Titan touchdown with a minute left in the first half that made it 32-20. Garfield Heights moved a lot through the air in the first half, and we see Camp back all alone in the backfield with 5 receivers. Three to the far side. Actually, they've got 10 guys. Oh, there's 3 out here. They had a guy way out to the sideline, and they used that space to throw in front of Dakota Mincy from the 35 out across the 45 to the 47, 1st and 10. They are spreading the 3 receivers so wide that they're stretching the secondary horizontally and creating big throwing lanes. Interesting. Nobody's been able to do that yet to us.
And getting the ball out of Camp's hands quickly so those backers in that front 7 can't get any heat on him.
So the 3 to the wide side, which is the far side now. The outside man is outside the numbers. He looks near side, throws an out while the receiver ran a go.
Camp's pass intended for...
Nobody home. Intended for Gamble. Well, he was the one
2nd down and 10.
looking back, but Gamble had 2 touchdown passes in the first half. And one was on a pump and go that he ran down the sidelines, very similar to that, where they faked the bubble screen. The bubble screens have worked very effectively for Camp and Garfield Heights. Now, 2 receivers to the near side, 3 again to the far side. I think they've given up any pretense of a running game unless they run a delay. Camp, quick look in, incomplete off the hands of Maddox.
That's one of those plays, Jay, where the receiver was trying to run before he was able to secure the ball, looking upfield to make a big play, brings up 3rd down and 10.
Good depth by Savon Chavis there, along with Lighty in the area. Dalen Dower back in at safety. Far side slant in front of the safety. Davion Dower misses, and down inside the 30. Isaiah McDowell comes back, but Maddox has a big gain down to the 30. And again, it's concept, I think. There's so much space out there. This will be a good look at it, Joe, if you can get the whole field. Watch how far out number 1 Gamble. He's not quite as far this time.
The Titans had to defend every blade of grass here, Jay.
Camp, there's a slant behind. There was an attempt to throw a screen there, as all 3 linemen on the near side had released after the release of as the ball was released. Now for the first time, a setback comes in. This is Javante Wembley, 25, next to Camp, 2nd and 10.
Wembley was able to gain 27 yards in the first half on the ground.
Fake that, and they're going to go over the top. Got a man, and unable to duplicate his one-hand catch is Jordan. Whistle. Timeout, I'm not sure.
Flag on the play.
I don't see it if there is. It might just be an illegal touching. Okay, he didn't touch the ball. I think what they would say is that the receiver, Jordan, where they threw the flag, must have gone out of bounds and come back in, which, of course, makes him ineligible.
Yeah, it was great coverage out there by Dakota Mincy to kind of ride that hip of Maddox there, and of Jordan, and ride him out of bounds.
Now, the 3 are to the top. Now here comes Wembley back into the backfield. They're looking to the wide side, going to come back to the screen. Wembley's got the ball. Wembley's got a 1st down and more. Wembley inside the 10. Wembley to the house.
Screen pass, they sucked in the defensive front. That left side of that defensive front where Antonio Wyatt and McDowell were able to lure it in, and were able to get behind them and for 6.
32-26 as Garfield Heights lines up to kick. Yusuf Durbin He has converted 2 of 3. Spot down. Blocked by Kelvin Torres. He came through. Flag. Another flag.
The extracurriculars there at the end of the play.
This isn't good. We await the signal. Dead ball. Declined. Okay. Dead ball holding against Garfield Heights.
Offsetting.
Okay, so
personal foul on both teams. Offset.
it was after the play, so the attempt will not recur. We'll go back the other way for the Garfield Heights kick, but it's a one-play game again, 32-26. And again, in a game the Titans led 20-0 at the end of the first. Since then, 26-12 Garfield Heights.
Yeah, we had all the momentum coming out of that first quarter, and then when they responded again, and then the Titans realized now they're in for a fight.
Well, Lorain scored the first 3 times they touched the ball in the game, and that was the reason for the lead. And then Garfield Heights, in the first minute of the second half, they had a long back shoulder throw to the far side, was complete to the 5, and then completed a pass for the touchdown. Titans came out and went 3 and out, and that was really when the momentum changed, is the Titans had not been stopped in the first half, and that 3 and out allowed Garfield Heights to score 2 in a row, and since then it's been like a closely fought tennis match, back and forth. So Garfield Heights from left to right, standing at the north end of the field on the near side cross, on the far side Lighty. Okay, 10:55 is the official time. Kick is to Lighty, but it's going to go Lighty at the 16. Now they're bringing it this near side. Lighty cuts it up. Lighty up the middle. Lighty cuts to the outside. Tyshawn Lighty gets a block, crosses in front of him. Tyshawn Lighty breaks a tackle. Tyshawn Lighty is necktied inside the 15. Tyshawn Lighty being helped to his feet. No, he's not. He's officials timeout. They're calling for Tracy Menges to come over as Tyshawn stayed down. Now, he's laying on the turf with his helmet off. He just pounded the turf. I'm sure that's in frustration. Tracy Menges and one of her assistants. Yeah, hopefully so. Hope the frustration was about not scoring. Now he's sitting up a little bit as he raises his left leg and hands it to trainer Menges and says, "Stretch this, I hope," is what he's saying.
Double cramps.
But it looks like that's a good sign.
Right, you haven't to see a kid go down.
If there was a way, that Dave McFarland could, several years ago when Josh Fenn was a senior, Josh walked around the halls of Lorain High with an empty milk bottle, a gallon bottle filled with water, and drank it all day, every day. And I'm sure that Coach McFarland would love to see his guys do that. Is the time to hydrate is the days before the game. Drinking water during the game is good, but it's not effective at preventing leg cramps, and that's what it looks like. Tyshawn walking off under his own power. Certainly he did his part, though, as the Titans have the ball at the 15-yard line of the Bulldogs.
This Titan offense that's coming on the field now, Jay, they ran 38 plays, 384 yards, led on the ground by Dalen Dower, 6 carries, 187 yards. We mentioned Justin Sturgill, 5 carries for 85 yards. So very large chunk plays in the ground game to see if they can keep this up in the second half.
Garfield Heights 26.
So 32. Rogers at center, Larson and Alzier the guards, Larsosa and Wilson the tackles, Chavis and Mincy behind Sturgill. End around to Cross. Cross spins but gets nowhere. For the first time this year, I believe, Lorain is seeing athletes like Lorain has.
Correct.
Loss of 1, 2nd and 11. Sturgill keeps it. Nope, he didn't keep it. Chavis has it. Chavis looks like he got down near the 10.
Give him maybe 2 on that one.
Brought down by number 75.
Well, I think he got about.
A couple, 3rd down and 7.
So he got 4. Justin, they lost the ball. That was a bad exchange. I'm thinking.
Oh no.
Yep. We've talked all year about how
Recovered by the Titans. 4th down.
Difficult that exchange is on the option between Justin and Savon. And fortunately, somebody in a white shirt got on that fumble, because that time it was a little bit more than just a struggle. Now we come out with Cross and Nolan on the near side, Dower and Chavis on the far side, Mincy next to Sturgill, 4th and 6. Sturgill straight back, Sturgill over the middle, had it, didn't get there, intended for Cross on the slant. Pass was a little bit low.
Lorain turns the ball over on downs. It'll be 1st and 10.
Talk about wasting a great effort was.
And the score still is Lorain 32.
You hate to see them come up empty on there when they had that great field position. You have to capitalize
1st
when
and
you
10
get that field position.
at the 15, and they pick up 4 yards in 4 plays. And Garfield Heights now with a chance to tie or go ahead. 32-26, and they've been digging out of a hole. Well, there's at least a couple of hands at ground level as they try to pull themselves out. And now here we see it. Look at number 13 out here to the near side, almost to the sidelines. He's about as close as he is legally allowed to be. Now Dalen Dower over the top of the inside receiver. Lighty is at safety, and that's because they have a setback. Looking over the slant in the middle, dropped. That's Smith.
Intended for number 4, Smith, incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
Yes.
If Smith had caught that, they'd probably be lining up to kick an extra point.
Yeah, that play is wide open. It's been open all day. They've just been beating the inside coverage, and Lorain's got to tighten that up.
Well, and they're throwing it where the linebacker can't get to. Kelvin Torres blitzed on that side, and Cairo from the near side can't get there. There's a handoff, and for the first time tonight, Wembley with some yards. Wembley's out to the 25. 15-yard gain from the 10, 1st and 10, Garfield Heights. So that's got to be his big gainer on the ground, I would think.
Yeah, that is his biggest gain on the ground, because he had 27 yards coming into this series.
But they've stretched us out horizontally. Now 3 on the far side, and if you look over there, the minimum distance you can be is 3 yards from the sideline, and that's just about where they are. Comebacker there.
Pass intended for
incomplete. Was thrown behind Jordan. Mincy was out there in the area on the coverage, but that was just designed to be a little comebacker. Of course, if he'd have caught that, he wasn't going anywhere because the ball was so low and he had to dive for it. Now they bring trips to the short side. Let's see if we... Give straight ahead. That's Antonio Wyatt, and that's... Oh, no!
You hate to see that happen, Big Tone. He's got to keep his head, and hopefully they don't eject him from that one.
Well, that was certainly unnecessary, and that's what the officials are going to call. It's going to be 15, which is going to bring it out to the 40, I believe.
Ouch.
Instead of 3rd and 13, it's going to be 1st and 10. Now Manning in for Dower.
Dead ball, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, Titans.
Wyatt goes out. McCall comes in, brings it out from where the spot of the foul to the 30. It was 10 yards behind the play, so the Titans get a little bit of a break there. Right. Wyatt goes out for a settle-down talk.
And an automatic 1st down.
1st and 10, though, instead of 3rd and 13. Camp. Now there's some discussion.
Flag on the play.
Flag on the play? I think they're discussing the last play and the spot of the ball. They spotted it at the 30, and I think the ball I mean, there's a discussion between the three officials whether or not that should have been at the spot of the foul, which was 10 yards behind the line, or from the line, which is where I initially said, which is would have put it at the 40.
It's nice to see these guys get together and settle this all out. Get the
I'd
proper
just like
markage.
to keep going. I don't want them to be at the 40.
Right. Now, Jay, I can't believe that Camp has put up the ball 37 times tonight. 22 of 37, 4 touchdowns, 270 yards.
And how many times have they run it?
They've only ran the ball 10.
Yeah. Well, and of that 10, at least 3 were on the first 3 and out.
Correct.
I mean, they ran the ball 3 times, went nowhere, had to punt. Now they're back to their positions. Now he's calling for the linesman, the chain person.
Yeah, they're resetting the chains.
Okay. So they're saying that was not an automatic first down. They've marked it off from where it was, so now it's 3rd and 3. To be honest, that never crossed my mind.
And Jay, the freshman, Javon Manning, has checked back in for the Titans at safety.
They wind the clock. It's 32-26, approximately 8:50 to go in the third quarter. Garfield Heights already gotten on the board once this quarter. Titans had a great kickoff return to the 15 and gained 5 yards on 4 plays, losing it on downs. And this is where we have gone from there. McDowell over the ball now. Fake slant, look in, good catch. Cross goes Jordan down at the 40. And then there's a flag.
Another flag on the play.
I think this one's taunting. This one's
unsportsmanlike. Bulldogs.
This one's taunting for sure. As Jordan, 13, made a nice catch, Cross pulled him down, and then something was said.
Bulldogs have it 1st and 25.
Now what's interesting is the quarterback, Camp, is down on the ground, and I don't know if he, it looks like, to me it looks like he's holding his hand. He's being helped up with his right hand, but he's not moving his left hand.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened. If he might have taken a shot after the play.
Might have hit a helmet.
He was grabbing his hand.
So there's a timeout on the field. 32-26 Lorain, 8:25 to go third quarter. We'll step away and be back after this.
Sergeant Michelle Garcia served meritoriously in Iraq and has the medals to prove it. Soon after leaving the Navy, Lieutenant Chris Scott found a job, a home, and started a family of his own. Corpsman Richard Stokely took the skills he learned in Vietnam and put them to good use as a paramedic. But soon after leaving the military, each of these veterans fell on hard times and faced homelessness. Even after Michelle lost all her savings, even after Chris wasn't able to pay his mortgage, and even after Richard battled alcoholism for years, they each reached out for help when they needed it most. A simple phone call put them in touch with a trained professional from the Department of Veterans Affairs. That call got Michelle a place to stay until she could afford one of her own, put Chris in touch with employment assistance, and found Richard a substance abuse program. These veterans are success stories not only for how they were able to help others while serving their country, but for how they were able to let others help them. If you know of or are a veteran in need, make the call.
Back here at Garfield Heights, it's 1st and 10 at the 31 after the gain to the 46 and the 15-yard penalty for unsportsmanlike back to the 31. Garfield Heights with basically a no harm, no foul motion. Fake the jet sweep, quarterback keeper, and that is Jordan, the wide receiver, as Camp went out because he was the injured player on the last snap. Now he comes back in. He might have had a little bit of a stinger in his left arm, is what it looked like to me. He's got a sleeve on that elbow now. Gain of 4, 2nd and 6 right at the 35. Wembley behind him. wing back to the left along with a wide receiver. Looking this way, he's got a man over top as Manning stumbled, got a late start and then stumbled. Intended for Maddox, just overthrew everybody. He had a touchdown.
You had talked about going into halftime having the freshman back there at single high safety, and he's got to get some depth. He's playing kind of tall right now, but luckily that did not count and get a big play against the Titans there, Jay.
Well, he's not in there for run support. That's what he's got to realize. There is no need for him to peek into the backfield. The two linebackers are 6 yards off the ball. That's what the passing game. Wyatt back in at right end. Chavis now shows blitz. Torres moves over behind him. 3 to the far side, spread out. They want this side. Blocked by Davion Dower as he rushed the passer. Great job by Davion getting the hands up in the air. 4th and 6. That's going to force a possible punt here, at least the indications are.
The Titan defense definitely needed that to get off the field there on 3rd down. They did a good job mixing up their coverage there, blitzing Dower on the outside.
Lighty comes deep for the Titans. He's going to be at about the 37-yard line. The punt snap's been a little bit of an adventure. Ryan Carter is the punter. He's a backup quarterback. There's an end over end. Makes a nice play, brings it down, kicks a spinning boot to the middle of the field. Oh, he got a good roll. That's not the kind you usually get the roll on. Roll's dead, though, at the 41-yard line. So the Titans don't have the field position that they had the last time they had the ball after the big kickoff return.
At the Titan 41-yard line.
But they are at the 41. Now they squandered the 70-yard kickoff return the last time, Rick, so here we come. Rashawn Rogers leads them out. He'll put hands on the ball right at the 41-yard line, excuse me. Jamel Nolan is to the near side as the receiver. Cross inside of Dower on the top. Sturgill pitches to Mincy. That just, again, the first option, the timing is bad. And it's strung out. Loss of about 4. I'm not going to be as generous as the field announcer. Well, I guess I am. It is where they spotted it at the 38. 2nd and 13. Mincy tiptoes into the hole, makes a cut. He's across the 40, got the 3 yards he lost on the last one and 3 more back. So it's going to be 3rd and 7 at the 44.
Mincy's a different runner than Dower. He's obviously more of a north-south kind of guy, but he still also has that burst. Great effort by the young man.
Now cheers out. Sturgill will be in the backfield with just Mincy in the shotgun. I would not be stunned to see the ball in the air here. There it is on the slant. Nolan has it knocked out of his hands and a great defensive play. That was Middleton, number 10, breaks it up. 4th and 7. Titans go nowhere again.
Pre-snap, Jay, you can see where Middleton, he actually had the inside. He said, I'm not letting you take that slant.
Yep.
He would give him the out, but wasn't giving him the slant, and Justin threw right into the trap. He's lucky that ball didn't get picked, and he just knocked it straight down.
Yeah. So Sturgill in to punt. The Smith brothers deep for Garfield Heights. Good snap by McDowell. Sturgill puts a foot into the ball, gets a high spiral, but it's going to hit the cheerleaders. Goes out of bounds. You can see the girls running.
Bulldogs will have it 1st and 10.
Right about.
Oh, he's coming.
Yeah, the 29.
29-yard line.
So a good kick, but bad direction, and the Titans
unofficially the score, Lorain 32.
Not with the pinning them as deep as they could have. If that ball had been not gone out of bounds, they'd have been back at about the 15, I think, Rick.
Yeah, exactly right, Jay. I wonder, with Dower not on the last offensive series, is something going on with Dalen over there on that sideline?
Well, and we know he's had cramp issues in other games, too. Now, I'm looking on the sideline to try and find him. Manning is still in at safety. Mincy on the near side cornerback. Tyshawn Lighty also at safety. So you got a freshman and a sophomore as your last lines of defense. Now Chavis, the inside, this is a little bit different look. Chavis is the inside linebacker, and he goes outside man up on the outside receiver on the top. Give to Wembley, and that's on a blitz. That was Zion Cross from the corner.
By number 21.
Yeah, Zion did a great job reading and reacting to the run. Came out from his cornerback position to make the play. Great job in run support.
Well, it was interesting that they inverted there. I think that was with the idea that Cross was going to get in there quicker. Now Cross back outside, and Chavis on the inside receiver. Now Torres walks over with Chavis. Near side, 3 receivers. Outside the numbers is Mincy is head up. Manning is 15 yards off the middle receiver over here if they want to throw a bubble. They throw the slant instead, and Tyshawn Lighty hauls him down at the 46.
For a Bulldogs first down.
Wow.
Lighty on the coverage.
15 on that one?
14 yards on the pass completion.
That pattern and route is there all day, Jades.
Because we're so, because they're doing it with the formation.
Mm-hmm. They're spreading us out.
You've got number 1 out here. Gamble is 3 yards from the sideline, which is the minimum he is allowed to be. Camp sails that one to
Camp's pass intended for
one of the Titan coaches.
Jordan.
Nice play out there. A little miscommunication on the outside. Young man ran a curl route, about a 5-yard curl, and he threw the go. Incomplete pass there.
Coach Whitehead with the good play. He's the quarterback's coach. 2nd and 10. 5:21 to go, third quarter. Near side, he's got a man over here. Manning stumbled again. Makes the tackle at the 31. 19 that time.
Chunk play after chunk play, Jay. 19-yard pickup.
Well, I'm almost looking for them to pull a linebacker and put another.
They're going to have to.
Another secondary man in, because they're only rushing 1 and they're dropping 1. And if you're going to drop a linebacker, you might as well drop a guy that can run a little bit better. Fake there over the top, inside of Mincy, but incomplete. Jordan just not tall enough. A little pressure that time from Cairo Smith and Davion Dower.
2nd down and 10.
Yeah, Isaiah McDowell and Antonio White have been pretty quiet ever since that first quarter, and those are 2 players that the Titans rely on heavily to generate that pass rush for the Titans.
5:04 to go, third quarter unofficially, as we've been without a scoreboard the whole evening. It's 32-26 Titans. Camp throws the out again off the hands.
Camp's pass intended for
Maddox drops it, so it's 3rd and 10. Now you got to believe they're in 4-down territory.
And they'd go right back to the well with that slant. This is one of those times where you hope that one of these linebackers would recognize what they're doing and their tendencies based on the formations, and maybe step into one of these passing lanes, Jay, and pick one off.
So 3 to the far side. You'd like to think that Maddox is going to be the slant guy, the middle guy.
If they bring the back into the backfield, watch for that.
Because that's who the safety is.
Watch for that screen.
Wembley sets up now next to.
Could have caught a false start there. What I tell you.
There's the screen. Wembley with it. Wembley slides 1 tackle and is tackled after a gain of about 3 or 4.
Brought down by number 51.
Kelvin Torres with a big hit. Well, the clock running for one of the few times this quarter. 4th and 6. Well, this is a big one. Now there's a brand new number that we haven't seen in the game all night for Garfield Heights, number 88 in the middle of the trips out there. Wembley in the backfield. Near side here, Jordan is by himself. I would think they would like that one-on-one. Now here comes the motion. Now he stops and goes back.
It's the out route.
Looks that way, throws. The slant ball knocked down. 2 in the 2 in the area, along with Chavis and Cross. I think Chavis got the play, but definitely some confusion on the route. And the Titans take over on downs. But they shouldn't be taken over on downs there. They should be taken over where it was.
Yeah, incomplete pass there. They need to step that back.
That ball should be 5 yards up the field.
3:54 remaining.
Well, Jay, I got a peek on the sideline. Looks like Dave Lindauer has an ice pack on his left shoulder. So, but
he's got the pads off?
Yeah, he's got the pads off.
Okay, that's trouble. Sturgill with the ball, with the shotgun, 2 receivers to each side. Straight ahead give. That was Mincy. There's a flag right at the pile where the tackle was.
That's a hold.
Jersey. That's what the preliminary signal is, jersey. Horse collar. No, he's...
Hands to the face, maybe?
Holding on Lorain. He was kind of making this signal along here. Blow to the head. Wow. Could not see it from this level. Not going to argue. He certainly had a better look at it than we did.
Since they've come out of the half, Jay, they just haven't had any type of continuity.
First and 20 now. They've picked up 7 yards this half on 2 possessions, and one of them started at the Garfield Heights 15. Just can't figure out a way to get the ball to the playmakers. Sturgill pumps, Sturgill lofts. Sturgill's got a man out there. Contact, and Nolan fell. Nice coverage there by 13 Jordan. Jamel Nolan was just well covered.
Yeah,
I mean, if he didn't stumble, he wasn't going to catch the ball.
Great coverage there on the outside. Decently thrown ball by Justin, and Nolan lost his footing. But as you said, he's probably not making that play anyways.
Now Lighty is inside of Nolan on the far side. Crosses out here with Dower. Sturgill with Mincy in the backfield. High snap. Sturgill pulls it down, wants to throw again, runs away, gets caught from behind. Going to lose about 2 or 3. This looks like a whole different football. If you left after the first quarter, you wouldn't know what game you were at.
Yeah, Damian Peterson came from his linebacker position to make the play and tackle Sturgill, and this offense has just been basically stuck in the mud since they've come out from the half.
So give them another loss of a yard. That's -8 on the half. And with the penalty yards, 3rd and 21. Now you'd like to pick something up just so you didn't have to punt from so deep.
See if they can get the ball in Lighty's hands right here. See if he can make a play.
Lighty or Cross, you'd think you'd like to. High snap again. Sturgill swings it out to Zion. Zion cuts to the middle of the field. Goes nowhere. Got about got 2.
Yeah, needed 21 yards on that one. Just not going to get it done. They were just hoping to get the ball into one of your athletes' hand and make them.
Well, they're just trying to figure out how to get the ball out in space to the athletes.
Tip the cap to the Bulldog defense. They're really rallying to the ball and kind of got us figured out.
Now Justin Sturgill is in punt formation. He had a nice boot last time, but just too much angle on it, and it went out of bounds. Twin receivers set at the 48. High snap. Justin goes up, climbs the ladder, gets the kick away, and it's a good end-over-end kick. Going to be returnable, though. Smith at the 49, breaks a couple. Still on his feet, right about where he caught it as the rugby scrum. Be lucky to get out of this with nobody getting a penalty. There's just so many bodies in there.
Bulldogs will have it 1st and 10 at their own 49-yard line.
And that's where the ball was caught, so good coverage for the Titans.
Unofficially 2 minutes remaining.
Man, I'm just shocked that the young man for Jermaine Camp for the Bulldogs has put the ball up 47 times. I'm running out of spots to track these stats. I only got 60 slots in my Excel spreadsheet here.
Well, you ain't going to have enough.
No. I have to use QB2 slots.
Camp's got him as they scrimmage from the 49. 32-26, Lorain. Trips to the near side. It's the short trips, if there is such a thing. The wide guy is lined up at the numbers, which puts him, since the ball is on the opposing half, puts him about 35, 40 yards from the ball. Straight back, looking near side, has a man deep, overthrows Smith. Wyatt got there, provided pressure, meeting Mr. Camp rather rudely.
You know, Antonio White's one of those athletes, just freak athletes, speed, power, and unlimited potential.
Second and 10, a minute 56, and the clock is stopped in the infinite third quarter. That's what it seems like. Looks near side, rollout screen, tipped by Wyatt, but not knocked down, and Wembley has it for about a 2-yard gain. McDowell was the first one there.
Yeah,
Wyatt also.
Wyatt got his big paw on the ball, and then McDowell was there to make the play, and with that death grip again on his foot.
Clock ticking with a minute and a half unofficially. Trips to the near side on 3rd and 8. Be nice to get a stop here and make them punt. Camp now, nobody in the backfield. 2 to the far side, 3 to the near side. This is where they've been getting us with the slant on this near side. Now, Whitey goes to the far side where the 2 receivers are, which was going to indicate a blitz. Chavis goes up as the ball was overthrown. Kelvin Torres came and got Camp.
He came on that Mike blitz.
And Camp's going to hobble off to live to play another day, but good 3 and out by the Titans.
When you get Kelvin Torres and Cairo Smith coming downhill on you like that, they bring the thumper.
Now,
Correction, number 17.
I'll believe that this one goes in the air when it does as far as a punt. I mean, they're right about the midfield stripe. It's 4th and 8, I know, but Lorain has shown nothing offensively where you might think about a fake here. Lorain burned by a fake last week by Elyria.
They sure were.
Right before the half. Nope, good snap, takes it, high floppy kick. Hits a Bulldog at about the 23 or 24 yard line and then blows dead. Now the ball should be spotted up here at the 25 is where they're going to spot it, just short of the 25.
On the Lorain 25-yard line where the Titans will have it.
Okay, Jay, if I'm Coach Eddie Hall and I'm David Farland, I want to give my athletes the ball in a position to succeed. Let's see if they get some bubble screens out to Nolan, also to Leidy and Cross, because with the loss of Dower, that's really affected the way this offense can roll.
Well, you know, one of the plays that had some good effect for them in the first half and last week was that quick pitch sweep where Justin pitches it deep to the tailback and then leads the blocking.
It's been called one time tonight, I think.
Yeah. High formation. Mincy into the pile. Not going very far, maybe a yard. Clock down under a minute as it ticks right about 45 seconds. And again, that is unofficial. 2nd and 8. That's a very generous 2 yards.
And Cheers to check it back into the game, Jay.
Okay. Chavis has got to be gassed as well. He's been going every play both ways in space. Titans looking for a play from the sidelines for one of the few times it looks like Sturgill. Or maybe he's just looking over the defense. There's a whistle. I think one of the Titans moved. Justin kept them down for a long time that time. With 10 seconds left in the quarter, and I think somebody might have rocked in his stance. Now, I've noticed a couple times that Cheers has gone from 3-point to 4-point and 4-point to 3-point stance at the fullback.
That was the end of the quarter.
Oh, they called it at the, okay, very good. So we played 3, and that was a long quarter. 32-26 Titans back with the 4th quarter after this timeout.
Hi, my name is Israel Cedillo. I am 17 years old and in 11th grade at Lorain High School. I'm studying climate control through Lorain High's Career Tech Education Program. I started the climate control program in the 10th grade. I learned all about the basics of furnaces, building a room, drywall, pretty much everything a house would ever need. I am not the type of guy to be sitting behind a computer all day. I am a very hands-on person. From the start, you learn that safety's first because we handle dangerous, hazardous machinery equipment. Then there's bookwork, and then you get into the hands-on part. You learn heating and electrical. I'm working on taking several certifications while I'm still in high school. After that, I'm going to go to LCC for 2 years for architectural design. I want to be my own contractor. I'm learning how to do everything that a house needs to be built at Lorain High. I knew what I wanted to do, and now I know how to do it. And it's all thanks to Lorain High's Climate Control Career Tech program.
Inspiring city and campus. Inspiring people. Inspiring creativity. Inspiring hands-on learning. Inspiring global experiences. Inspiring traditions. Be a Buckeye. Inspire.
Start of fourth quarter here at Garfield Heights, and it's been a barn burner. Titans 2nd and 9 at the 26. They lead 32-26, but they led 20-0 at the end of the first quarter. And since then, Garfield Heights has taken over this game. Turn gives straight ahead is Mincy. Mincy got a little seam there. Larson created a seam out to the 30. It's going to bring up third in a little bit. I'm going to say 3rd and 1.
Yeah, 3rd and manageable here. About 4 yards.
Sturgill over the center. He should sneak this. No. Bounced outside by Mincy. Mincy's got the first down. Mincy's corralled up high and knocked down inbounds.
Down by number 44. Webb.
At the 37. That'll move the chains.
Nice block on the outside by Dave Endower to give him that enough yards for the first down.
Spotted at the 38. Sturgill. Turn, straight ahead. Mincy. Mincy puts the head down. Mincy busts one tackle, gets out to the 48. And the Titans, maybe they found something. Back-to-back 7 and 11-yard carries by Mincy. Has the ball out to the 49. You sure would like to see some points for the Titans. Mincy again, same spot. That time they sent 2 guys and took David Larson out, who was the pulling guard.
Down by Watson.
As they tried the trap one time too many there. Gain of a yard, but 2nd and 9. Shears and Mincy behind Sturgill. Straight back, 2-step drop, pump fake. They've run this play. Tyshawn Lighty, 50 yards to the house. Wow. You know what? That's their play. The pump bubble screen, and all alone was Tyshawn Lighty.
We had been talking about putting the ball in the athletes' hands, and they did that. Great play design, great call by Coach Eddie Hall. Caught everybody peeking in the backfield with that bubble screen, burned over the top. Tyshawn Lighty to the house. Gee, I was convinced no one wanted to score in this.
Oh my goodness!
In that third quarter. Thank God someone scored in this quarter.
Well, and thank God the band remembers the fight song. It's good to hear it.
Right?
It's been a while. Titans, of course, will go for 2.
Lorain attempting a 2-point conversion.
They need to convert this one.
And now Mincy splits out, so next to Sturgill is Cheers. Nolan to the near side. The fade is what they're letting him run here if...
Taking away the inside.
Yeah. And then Sturgill doesn't like what he saw and calls a timeout. Now with a 12-point lead, these 2 points are huge, as Garfield Heights has been kicking the extra points, and this would make it, a 14-point lead. So I don't necessarily, this is one of those times where we said down toward the end of close games, toward the end of games, you want to get this one right. Dower is out there without a helmet, rallying his teammates.
I was thinking, Jay, when we went to that morass in the second and third quarters, like, this is our first road game.
Yeah.
This is something this team is very young, except for certain members of the offensive line and defensive front. So, I guess I kind of expected that a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's see if this defense can turn it around once we convert this 2-point conversion.
Dalen's got his jersey on, but they've taken his pads and his helmet.
Yeah.
Sturgill in the gun, Cheers next to him. Same look. Now they've got Mincy on this side with Nolan. Let's see if they cross him on this side. Yeah, they danced without music that time. And that's what they were going to do. Was they had tried to cross the receivers on both sides.
Right.
So that'll come back 5 yards, and now we're at the 8-yard line. And Titans will still go for 2, but it sure makes it a lot more difficult. Now, who's this? Zion coming in for Cheers. I mean, he's going to come out here to make trips. There's basically no threat of a run whatsoever. No. Sturgill getting blitzed, rolling out, end over end, but there's a flag there, and they moved again.
Oh, my.
He didn't have him in. He didn't have him set.
Yeah.
So now it's back to the 13. And he saw the blitz coming from the left, and he knew it. He just didn't let his teammates get set. Now, I guess an optimist would say, well, you have a lot more room to work now.
The playbook's a little more open in this situation, Jay, but I think, I
think all in all, I think they'd like to be at the 2. Now, Davion Dower out. Number 10, Devontae Harkness in. Sturgill straight back. Throws a screen to Mincy. Mincy inside the 5, but not going to get there.
27, Mincy stopped short of the end zone.
Right idea. Just one of the Bulldogs has got a little bit of a paw injury as he rolls and finally gets up. 38-26. The lead is 2 plays. And it's very tenuous with the way Garfield Heights has been converting.
I'm looking here at the stats, Jay. You got 2 touchdowns of 60 yards, a 48-yard touchdown run, and a touchdown from 50 yards. I mean, big explosive plays by this Titan offense.
Right. How many plays has Garfield Heights run compared to us? I don't know if you can tell me.
I can.
Okay, you're the man.
61 plays for 376 yards.
And what have we run? How many plays?
55 for 478.
Okay. Well, because we had the ball so much in the first quarter.
Correct.
61 plays with 10.5 minutes to go is a lot of plays in a high school football game, where you'd think that the average team would run about 65 for the game.
Right.
Jeter now back into kick. Jeter, end over end kick, comes down at about the 15 to Smith. Smith takes it to the middle of the field, breaks a tackle, breaks through out to the 35 before he's corralled.
The kick brings it up to his own 35-yard line, brought down by a host of Titans.
There's a host of Titans, but the Titans first contacted him at about the 20, and he broke a tackle there. I think Matt Weatherspoon was the first one down, and he got spun. 10:33 to go unofficially in the game. Titans by 12 at 38-26. Mr. Camp and his golden arm are back in the backfield for the Bulldogs. Wembley is next to him. Now, one of the Smiths comes in to put 3 wide receivers to the far side. 13 Jordan, who's a bad matchup for anybody because he's so tall on the near side. Fake, they look the far side. They try what we just worked. Tipped away. Mincy had 2 hands on it. It would have been a heck of a play if he was able to pull it down. Justin Sturgill down there to give him a high five and encourage him to catch the next one.
Host of defenders there for the Titans. You had Manning around the ball. You had Mincy around there, but Mincy made a great athletic play to break that one up. And
Whitey was even back there. Ball was in the air for a long time, but Javon looked more certain about his drop that time.
He did, and the nice thing about that was that hitch and go again, where they did the pump and go.
What we scored on.
Correct.
So 2nd and 10 here at the 35. This is Wembley. Wembley's got 5. He's got 7, 8, 10.
Wembley, the ball carrier.
Right at the sticks.
Thrown ahead to the sticks and moved the sticks at the 45-yard line.
Gain of 10, 1st and 10 Bulldogs.
Got 7 on the run and 3 on the tackle.
Yeah, Wembley's putting a nice game together, 12 carries, 60 yards.
After 27 yards in the first half. Now they flop some receivers. Gamble is to the near side. He's done the lion's share of the damage tonight, and that's who they look for here. Zion Cross with a break on the ball. That one was underthrown. Gamble and Cross pat each other on the helmet. It's what competitors do.
Yeah, you like to see that.
2nd and 10. Play signaled in to Camp from the sideline. That young man's going to have to ice. Garfield Heights over the ball. Camp with the snap. Turns, looks far side. He's got him on an out. Breaks the tackle down the sideline. This is going to go a long way. Touchdown saving tackle by Savon Chavis. Brings him down at the 10.
50-yard pass completion on
wow. Maybe it's the 5 then. I can't.
We're calling a 50-yard reception out there.
11. Okay, so they were on the 45, so we're not going to give him that much. We're going to give him 44. And that was number 13, Marlon Jordan.
He's putting a nice game together as well.
Yes, he is. Quick out. Smith runs to the pylon.
Smith. Complete to number 4, Tyreek Smith, hustled out of bounds.
Now they can pick up a first down. 4. No signal whatsoever, and it was on the other side of the little press box, so gain of 9. Approximately 9:25 to go in this one. Titans by 12, but Garfield Heights certainly on the doorstep. Wembley. Oh, Wembley gets stood up right at the goal line. It's going to move the chains.
Chavis with the stick along with Torres.
Yeah, I was going to say, Savon held him up and Kelvin cleaned him up. But it's false start on Garfield Heights, so pain, no gain. In fact, pain and a loss there for Wembley as they're going to move it back 5 to the 6. 2nd down. And 5 for the first down. 6. So maybe it's at the 8. Okay. There's the out. Some hand fighting. Neither player looked for the football until they were both out of bounds.
Cross out there on the coverage there. Man on man right there.
Yeah, it was Cross and Jordan. And as we say, you know, Jordan is 4 or 5 inches taller than Zion. They don't list the heights on the roster, but I would say he's 6'2", and I'm thinking that Zion's about 5'10" on a good day. 3rd down and 6 at the 8. Bubble screen or the slant. Which is it going to be? Would think they would look to the right. No.
Yep, that delay.
Wow. Tone. Now let him go.
Wembley, the ball carrier, brought down by
he did too. He was pointing to the official like I let him go that time. Antonio Wyatt ate that one up in the backfield.
He just did a great job beating his blocker, was able to get penetration, just used that big paw to grab Wembley so he couldn't get away.
4th and 12 now. Titans were stopped on downs once in this very same position in the 3rd quarter. Got about 8.5 minutes to go in the ball game. Again, that's unofficial. Cross and Jordan are out here one-on-one. 3 receivers to the far side. Straight back is Cross. He looks to throw over the middle. Incomplete. It wouldn't have been a first down if it had been caught. Once again, 88. Keyshawn Baycott into the ballgame. He was in the ballgame for one play at the other end of the field there. And I'm not sure if they're not having some cramping issues on some of their receivers because he's got a clean jersey compared to everybody else.
Yeah, he has a clean jersey, and Mr. Camp didn't have a clean jersey because he had a lot of pressure brought on by Malik McCall and Antonio White on that last play. Big stand by the defense.
Officially, the Titans will take over on the 12. 7:56 to go in the ball game. Boy, you'd love to get some points here, but it's a long way away. 88 yards to go. Mincy is in the backfield. Sturgill is under center. Now you'd like to keep it on the ground and move the sticks to keep the clock running. Mincy cutting the hole, makes a nice cut, breaks to the second level, but there's a flag. Going to probably be a hold.
Yeah, it's right in that area of holding.
Yep. It's in the center guard area. I'm not going to speculate on who it was, but it was right there in the middle.
Holding, Lorain.
Jay, there's so many people in that box. I'd like to see that toss sweep that we haven't seen that you talked about earlier because it's just so compressed with the bodies inside, keying that fullback.
You know, there was some talk early this summer about giving Cross some reps at the tailback. Mincy's got to be tired too. I mean, well, of course, Cross has gone the whole time both ways as well. So, Titans penalized back inside the 10 to about the 6, I would guess. It's very hard to see lines this low. Inside handoff there, not much.
Mincy the ball carrier.
Mincy got a few. Out to the 10.
About 4.
That's an two.
Second down and 13.
That's an approximate. We'll trust their call because they're up higher than we are. Straight back, Sturgill. Sturgill pulls it down. Sturgill wants to run. That might as well have been a quarterback draw.
Well, you see there on that play, the defense wasn't even set. It was a quick snap and didn't pick up any yards. The nice thing about that is he didn't throw the ball, so the clock continues to run.
No gain on that play, 3rd and 13. 6:35 to go approximately in the ball game. Titans would love to convert here, but more importantly, they'd love to run the clock. I mean, if you convert here, you can run it down to 5. Quick kick. Sturgill gets it away. Boot hits it about the 40, bounces 45 across the 50 and right about the 50 where it's touched down by
Titans with a quick punt on 3rd down. Bulldogs will have
Nolan.
1st and 10 at midfield.
That was a good decision.
You like that call there on 3rd down?
You know what? They had a punt blocked not too long ago, didn't they? I guess it was a bad snap.
Yeah, we did have that in our...
I mean, the punt block is the most devastating play in football in my mind because it's just such a quick turnaround.
And I think a team on Sunday felt the pain of that block punt.
So right at the 50, just the length of a football across, Camp will put his team back in play with about 6:15 to go. Camp, slant, Smith out of the slot. Chavis is trying to head him off. Smith pulls it down. Smith back to the middle of the field. Smith still loose. Chavis has missed him 3 times. And Smith puts the ball in the goal line, over the goal line.
50-yard touchdown reception.
Give him 49, I think, where they had to chain.
50 yards on the pass completion.
That young man made a lot of people miss. A lot of Titans were there. Like you mentioned, Chavis missed 3 times, and Bulldogs right back in this one.
So it's 38-32. 6-point game. This is a big point because it cuts it to 5, which means Garfield Heights is a play from the lead instead of a play from tying. Snap back, kick is really high and not good. Tone might have gotten a piece of that.
5:56 remaining in the ball game. Unofficially 5:56 remaining in the ball game. It is now Lorain 38, Garfield Heights 32.
So 5:56 to go. We are right where we were at the end of the quarter. Titans leading by 6. It was 20-0 Titans at the end of the first quarter. At the half, It was 26, what was it? It was 32-20 as the Titans scored with a minute left in the first half. Garfield Heights dominated the third quarter, but only scored once, and it was 32-26. Lorain just scored on a 50-yard pass, which was answered by a 50-yard pass. So we went from 32-26 to 38-32. And I'll tell you one thing. There's going to be some kids that sleep on the bus.
Yeah, this has been a volume of plays, volume of
goodness,
big chunk plays, big time. You know,
and due to injuries, we've had a lot of guys going both ways. Tyshawn Lighty has gone both ways. Dakota Mincy has had to go both ways in the second half because of the injury to Dalen Dower, who went both ways in the first half.
Right.
Davion Dower both ways. Savon Chavis, who almost ran that down, both ways the whole way.
Peterson set the kick back deep. For the Titans, number 21, Cross, and number 1, Lady.
Just running out of defensive backs is what our issue is. So the foot will go into the ball right in front of us at the 40. Approach, boot, end over end kick. That's Lighty at about the 15, it looked like. Tyshawn Lighty, no flag down, so this is moot, but Tyshawn Lighty's going to go 85 yards. This does not matter because there's a flag back on the 44-yard line.
Ouch.
And it's a hold, and it's called by the referee in the white hat, just signaled it. That's the second return that Tyshawn Lighty has had called back. Second touchdown, had a punt return early against JFK, I believe, and now this one's going to come back. There's an illegal block.
Block in the back, Titans coming back.
From the 43, it'll go back to the 33.
Well, this is one of these series, Jay, where you'd like to see a death march, 3.4 yards per carry, and pick up some first downs and put this thing away.
That would have been acceptable, too.
It would have.
I mean, if the biggest thing lost here is the mental lift that the play would have given us. Jermel Nolan's got to come all the way back and get in the offensive huddle. Chavis is getting a blow. Lighty's getting a blow, and he's just a frustrated young man. Coach McFarland went out to meet him and said, hey, we're going to need you before this is over. So the ball is going to be spotted at the 33. So the return officially is to the 43, and the 10-yard mark-off puts it at the 33. 67 yards from pay dirt instead of lining up for an extra point. Look at the ball. Look at the box, how crowded it is there. Straight back give to Mincy. Mincy looking for a hole. Finds a little bit of a seam, gets about 4.
Second down and 6.
Yeah, everything's been in the second half, just been between the tackles. I'm confident, Jay, if they get it to the outside, we can pick up some yards.
Look how tight they are, though. That defensive front 4 and the linebackers right there within 3 yards of the ball. 7 guys. Certainly the box is full. Only the safety. Okay, now Sturgill's running clock is what he's doing. He's waiting for the back judge to raise his hand, which he does when there's 5 seconds left on the play clock. There it is. He sets him down, turns, gives it to Mincy on the near side. Mincy bounces, Mincy spins. See, that play's too slow to get the ball outside. All you're doing is letting their guys run. So 3rd and 5, 4:30 to go in this one. Sturgill again waiting. He's got a fullback behind him now. That's Cheers. 2 receivers to the far side, Cross and Nolan. Davion Dower is out here. He's been rather silent tonight. Turn straight back. That's not going very far. Yes, it is. He popped out. Mincy popped out across the 45. Got 8 yards on that carry. put it down officially at the 47, but that is with 4:09 unofficially to go. The clock gets wound, and Sturgill puts him down, tells him stay put until I see his hand go up in the air because the clock is running at 3:55, 3:52, 3:50.
Big first down there, Jay.
Oh, hand up now at 3:47. Sturgill turns, hands it to Mincy again. Mincy following Big David Larson for about 10. I mean,
you see David Larson running that one like Baby Huey.
Yeah.
He was looking for somebody to hit.
But he was on his toes, and he was like, maybe they won't see him behind me if I don't make noise. It was, give him 9, which is great because 9 is almost better than 10 here because it gives us another play before, hopefully we pick up the first down here.
I talked about it, that death march. Just keep picking up yardage just enough to get a first down, and let's take this back home.
Rogers over the ball. Sturgill under center. Cheers at fullback. Dakota Mincy is the tailback. Turn, straight ahead give Mincy. Not much there, but he's going to have the first down.
Brought down by Willis.
Davion Dower out here clapping his hands because he knows it's 3 more plays. Clock under 3 minutes unofficially.
Ladies and gentlemen, just a reminder, at the conclusion of tonight's game, we ask that everyone please leave the stadium as soon as the game is over. We need the Lorain fans to exit the way they came in. The Lorain fans will exit the way they came in, and Garfield fans will exit in the north end of the stadium. Garfield fans, you will exit in the north end of the stadium behind the end zone.
That was interesting.
Thank you.
42-yard line, 1st and 10, 2:40 unofficially. Clock is ticking. Again, we have no scoreboard. Titans lead by 6. Snap back, give to Mincy. Mincy,
the ball carrier.
good run there as yards after contact get him inside the 40 to the 38. He followed Gabe Larsosa that time. There's a whistle, and Garfield Heights spends it. I think they shoot their last bullet here.
Yeah.
I know
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, at the conclusion of tonight's game, we ask the Garfield fans to exit the north end
So
of the stadium.
Timeout on the field. I'm hoping that the field announcer, instead of talking about how people leave, gives me an official time on the clock.
It looks like about 2:19 left.
I was
going to
say
unofficial clock.
2:19 unofficially. 2nd down and long 5, short 6.
We were making a big deal of the explosive plays that Dalen Dower had in the first half, but in the second half, Dakota Mincy has put in that yeoman's type work into this game today. 21 carries, 94 yards. He's averaging 4.5 yards per carry, Jay, and has done it between the tackles.
And let's not forget, that's while playing every down defensively.
Sure.
That might be the most impressive part of it. So the timeout is over. Garfield Heights is out over the ball, waiting for the Titans. From near to far, it's Larsosa, Alzier, Rogers, Larson, and Myron Wilson in that front line. The last 3 of those guys are 3-year starters.
2 minutes, 16 seconds remaining in the ball game. 2nd down, 5.
Sturgill calling some sort of an audible. He's got Cross here behind Dower for the first time all night. Straight ahead, that's Justin Sturgill. Sturgill on a keeper, got 6. Maybe he's got a first down.
Yeah,
yep.
Has just enough.
5, 1st and 10.
Great call.
Now Alzier goes out, and Antonio Wyatt comes in, along with Isaiah McDowell. Zion Cross goes out. There's 2 minutes to go, and the clock is ticking. This might be victory formation. I don't know what the timeout situation is.
They should have 2 timeouts left over on the.
This is the power I.
They call this Rhino.
Rhino because tight end is Antonio Wyatt, and that's the secret weapon. What you had there was you had the up man Isaiah McDowell, who got the ball and got about 3. Cairo Smith behind him, and then Dakota Mincy. And I don't blame Mincy for not making much of a fake there at all, as tired as he's got to be.
Right. McDowell had been pleading over on that sideline. Like, Coach, I scored last week on that scoop and score against Elyria.
Yeah. And I scored on this play. against Amherst in the scrimmage.
Sure did.
Now he's in the middle behind Cairo Smith, double tight end. This is buckle up your chin straps and look for some slobber knocker. There's the hand up, under a minute. Dakota Mincy makes a cut. Dakota Mincy's got 5. Dakota Mincy first down. Dakota Mincy falls down inbounds.
Great job.
There is a senior.
Yep. In years past, we'd see the Lorain kid run out of bounds. Great headiness, great football awareness. Great job there by Dakota Mincy to keep the clock running.
Now there's a timeout.
Timeout Bulldogs.
Garfield Heights, but it was the body language. Unofficially 51 seconds.
Remaining in the ball game.
So barring something ridiculous, the Titans look like they may survive. Although from a physical standpoint, survive is what they've done. I mean, how many backs have we lost? You know, Mikey Harrell had a huge game last week against Elyria, comes out of it with a separated shoulder. I asked the coaches, when did he do that? He doesn't know. He finished the game with it. He says he does it all the time.
Talk about tough.
Yeah.
I separate my shoulder. I'm not even coming to this broadcast tonight, I tell you that.
You know, in the preseason, we saw Cairo Smith and McDowell work at the fullback position a little bit. But that's all been changed because they've demanded so much of them defensively.
You had injuries in the first week with Pat going down. That forced Arsosa to now go to the offensive side of the ball.
Which means you need McDowell full-time on the defensive line. Just things like that. And the depth of this team is one of the things that they were very pleased with in the preseason. And it's, they've had to count on it already in week 4. Full house. Sturgill straight ahead, quarterback sneak down to the 10. Justin, 40 seconds on the clock.
Brings up second down and 3.
Give him a 7-yard gain on the sneak straight ahead.
That carry puts Justin at 10 carries, 96 yards.
I would not be upset if he went over 100 on this carry. But now I don't know if they're not going to hand it off. Now this is victory formation. It's one step back and kneel down. Justin Sturgill winds the clock under 20 seconds, and the Garfield Heights Bulldogs have put up a game fight.
Wow.
But they line up on the near sideline with their 3rd defeat of the season. And that's as good a 1-3 football team as there is. Okay, we're going to step away, then we're going to come back and wrap this one up, but right after this, timeout.
In an instant, life can change. Hi, I'm veteran J.R. Martinez. If you've been hurt or disabled due to your service, the last thing you need to do is hurry up and wait for a VA claims decision. Make sure you file an electronic, fully developed claim, or e-claim, for disability compensation on e-benefits. It's the fastest and easiest way to get a claims decision. Learn more at ebenefits.va.gov. E-claims and e-benefits. Online VA claims made simple.
Can I go to the sleepover?
Lucy, I want you to promise me something. If there's any drinking, I want you to say, no thanks, not my thing.
Mom.
I promise you, your real friends won't care. Deal?
I promise, Mom.
They really do hear you.
Did you pack your toothbrush?
For tips on how to start the talk, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. A public service message from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
Back here at Garfield Heights, and what a ball game we just witnessed. The Lorain Titans going to 3-1 on the season, and when we say they held on tonight, Rick, that's what they did. The final score was 38-32, but the Titans led 20-0 after the end of the first quarter. And when I look at my score sheet, listen to the lengths of some of these touchdowns: 48, 29, 27. 57, 60, 50, 50, and 30. I mean, just big plays on both sides of the ball, and the Titans were able to survive and advance, which is what you want to do in these non-conference games. Got some final stats for us, Rick?
We sure do. For our Titans, on the ground, they were led on the ground by Dalen Dower, 6 carries, 187 yards, averaging 31 yards per carry. Mincy, 22 carries, 110 yards, averaging 5 yards per carry. And Justin Sturgill, 10 carries, 96 yards, 9.6 yards a rip. The ground game dominated the performance today for the Titans, but Justin Sturgill was very effective through the air. 10 of 19, 2 touchdowns. Key stat, no interceptions.
No interceptions, right. Again.
126 yards. Total plays for the Titans, 67 plays, 541 yards.
Wow. What about Garfield Heights?
Garfield Heights, they ran 69 plays for 496. Obviously, we talked a lot about Jermaine Camp. 29 completions on 55 attempts, 5 touchdowns.
5 touchdowns, 55 attempts.
And wait for this, 425 yards. His leading receiver was Gamble, 5 receptions for 133 yards, and his leading rusher was Wembley with 13 carries for 67 yards.
Well, Rick, one of the things that we don't do anymore is pick a player of the game. But, if it were left to me tonight, the unsung hero for the Titans was Dakota Mincy.
Dakota Mincy had to step his game up, and as a senior, he did all the right things, making big plays on defense and definitely on offense to close out this game.
And so the Titans, 3-1 now on the season with a 3-game winning streak. And next week at George Daniel, it's Football North from Canada as the Titans continue this non-conference contest, string of contests before they get into LEL action. But for Coach Dave McFarland and the Lorain Titans, victorious. Go home, get well, and welcome the visitors from the north. Till next time, for Joe Bach, for Rick Amador, this is Jay Ferguson. Have a good night, everybody.
This has been a production of Lorain City Schools TV 20 WLCS.